We're live.
Oh, I gotta grab a beer.
Grab your beer. We're live.
I'll grab a beer. I'm so thirsty. I've been making so many truffle dishes. I'm thirsty.
His fridge is right outside that room.
He should just put it right next to his desk, like a little mini fridge.
He has the mini fridge just out in the hallway. You can see his feet right
there you go.
Right there.
How small is that room?
It's fairly, but his desk is like
massive.
The size of my room is his desk.
Oh my god.
That's so unnecessary.
Oh shit. Hold on. What's the fucking thing?
All right. Sorry about that.
I was talking about your unnecessary.
Wait, what?
Unnecessarily large dick. Sorry, desk.
Oh. Yeah, it's like
what the fucker?
What is it? 6x4?
6x4 desk.
My God.
Right? As I was saying, I'm like, the size of my room is the size of his desk.
Is it like, you have 3 monitors on there? What's the deal?
I have 4 monitors.
Oh my God. Why?
So typically I set up 3 for work, 1 for my personal, and then I have the TV up there for my personal, so I can like throw YouTube on or whatever. Tonight I switched back, so I have 2 for personal and the TV. So
I thought you worked at the bank.
I do, but I work from home right now.
Oh, you work from home? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's kind of nice then.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
All right. Yeah. Shall we?
Yes, we shall. Are you ready to laugh?
I'm ready for the podcast. Well, let's get in the laughing spirit here. Change some backgrounds.
Oh, my God. That just
now
ruined my day.
In a good mood.
Adam Sandler comedies.
I'm surrounded by Adam Sandler.
For no reason, despite the fact that John Carpenter, not known as a comedy director, I decided to throw this on the Carpenter feed because Adam was supposed to be here. But he went and died on us. So
yeah, I'll do it.
So here we are, stuck with Carpenter theme on. Oh, that's the fog. I got more Adam Sandler if you guys want.
Speaking of comedy,
I like the one where he's booking. Yeah,
there you go. That's a good one.
All right.
Look at that. It's like his entire catalog back there.
You feel surrounded by dumbassery.
Oh my God.
So what we'll do is basically you're going to go number 10 first. We're starting at the bottom of our list, working our way up.
Yeah.
I'm just explaining to the audience, not you guys so much.
Oh, okay. Fine.
So
because the audience is fucking stupid.
We're just doing 6 through 10 tonight, right?
We're doing all of it.
Oh, we are.
This episode, it's going to break up into 2 episodes.
I see what you're doing.
Always goes long, so we're
going to do 1 episode per movie on the top 10.
Fuck that.
So we got 30 episodes.
30 episodes.
So fucking
it's delightful.
It's going to be a very long night. All right, so Dick, you want to go first, and then Jansen, and then me? Because I think we need to have a buffer between us because ours are going to be kind of similar. I think Jansen's going to be the wild card.
I went through this thinking, okay, I know Phoenix and I would line up on a lot of them, so I decided not to think like Phoenix. So I took the ones that are more not going to be on your list. So that's what, but I agree with your list already. So it's like we have the same taste in comedy almost, but these are just, I think, more obscure movies than you would be on a list like this. So that's why I'm going to be a little bit different.
Okay.
So my number 10 is the 60s version, Mel Brooks's The Producers.
You know, I've never seen that.
Zero Mostel, Gene Wilder. It's not a total musical. There's like 2 musical numbers in it, and that's it. It's not the awful Broadway version, which I hate. I hate Nathan. What's his name? Nathan Lane. I hate Matthew Broderick. I've never watched that movie. I have no desire to. I hate Broadway. I hate musicals. But The Producers, the 60s version, won Best Screenplay for the Oscars that year because it's a fucking funny-ass movie. And Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder did not get along on this movie, but yet it works so good because their chemistry is just perfect. So I would say it's one of Mel Brooks's, because I want to take like different, like I'm going to say different, like you know how the Ramis has his movies. Yeah. And there's different types of comedies. I'm kind of taking one comedy movie from each one of them on my top 10. Okay. So it's like I would put Young Frankenstein on this list too, but I'm not because Producers are going to take its spot and be like a representative of those movies. Like Blazing Salads. Yeah.
We just watched Young Frankenstein. It was her first time.
Oh, yeah.
We have not stopped doing the elbow shake.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've watched that movie growing up, but Producers I've never seen. I want to. I don't know why I haven't.
Producers is one I've watched since I was a kid. My dad loved it, so we'd always watch it. And it's fun. Dick Shawn, when he does his audition to be Hitler, is one of the funniest bits ever in a movie because he's just a hippie who's a drug addict. It's just awesome. So the movie's great. Producers is a great movie, great comedy. If you haven't seen it, watch it. Short. It's literally like 70 minutes.
Oh,
it's
really?
fucking short because there's not a lot of musical numbers. It's perfect. It's a perfect amount of like funny songs to be in a movie that's like not a total musical.
And Jansen, in case you're interested, because I know you like to do research while we talk, I am compiling our lists together, so I can send it to you after if you want.
Nice.
Right.
But yeah, Producers definitely.
I'm aware of the movie. I've never personally seen it, just like yourself. But yeah, that's cool.
It was one of those. Oh, sorry. I was just saying. On top of that, it was going to be a forgotten movie if not for John Lennon.
Did he produce it?
No, but he's the one that sort of championed it to get the Oscar, and like he would chef screenings of it and eat pot brownies and show people. Like that's what they did in New York. So that's kind of what got that movie. Kind of got Mel Brooks' kind of his movie career is John Lennon, in a weird way. Yeah.
Musicians in England have championed our comedies forever. It's weird.
Yeah.
Because we do not support our artists at all in this country, and they have to.
Fuck them. Fuck the artists.
Yeah. Like half of the Who's money went to the country, like to taxes. They don't get to control that. It's weird.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, that's a good number 10. That's definitely not on any of our lists.
That's why I picked it.
What's your number 10?
Y'all you're gonna yell at me for my number 10. My number 10 is the Royal Tenenbaums. I love Wes Anderson films, and I think this movie is both a comedy and a drama. Why you give me this?
I just miss Adam. That's all.
Oh, Adam would hate you right now.
I know he would. And that's half the reason I picked it. But I love this movie. I've watched it so many times, and I get a chuckle every single time I watch it. The cast is great. The story is excellent. There's a dramatic piece to it, but throughout the entire movie, it's so well like articulated, and it's like a best thing I can equate it to is it's the movie is like man, what's the word I'm looking for? Shitballs. Not shitballs,
It's
but
like a shitballs.
it's like a shitballs. No, the movie is like a craftsman house. Like every little detail is thought about, right? And that's what I love about it. So it makes me happy. It's a good one.
I do like Royal Tenenbaums. And that made me change my number 9 on this list right now because of Jennifer. I just realized I forgot about that movie.
Nice.
So,
yeah, that's my number 10.
Well, it's gonna be awkward because the rest of my 10 is Wes Anderson movies, so I don't know how to.
So weird. He's a comedy genius.
I was going between that one and the one with the school kid. What's it called?
Oh, Rushmore.
I like Rushmore a lot too, but I think I enjoy Royal Tenenbaums a lot more. Rushmore is a little bit more awkward and like
I want to love
kind of cringy,
and I've watched like 5 times, and I hate it more every time.
Really?
I love everyone in this movie. I do.
Right.
I watch it, and I'm like, I can't stand this movie. I don't know.
It's kind of cringy. It's kind of cringy, but like I see its value, I guess.
Yeah.
But Royal Tenenbaums would definitely take that spot.
I think I know what's number 9 on his. All right. I was gonna say it's one of those movies where I don't get it, but I know I'm wrong, and people fucking love it, and definitely it's in a lot of people's top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I am interested in more of his movies. Like I love Bottle Rocket. Most people don't even.
But you didn't see Grand Budapest, did you?
Not yet. No.
That's a good one too.
I have that one 4K on Blu-ray. If you want.
Grand Budapest is solid. That's a good one.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, it's not an access problem.
No, I know, but I'm just saying if like you really want like the not high quality, I know you have your ways, but you're welcome to
your ways.
I would love. It's like being in like it's how I consider religion. I would love to believe all that and love to see what everyone else does. I just don't.
Right.
And I feel like I'm missing out on that stuff.
The earth is fucking round, you idiots.
Nah, you're fine.
What?
You're fine.
I didn't hear
yeah, you don't talk about the world. It's flat as a pancake.
All right. I do have images for mine because I had I can log in here. So my number 10, I didn't think about it until after I compiled my list, and I had to boot a different movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh fuck. So my number 10, Wolf of Wall Street.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. I would say that is a comedy.
Yeah, definitely comedic value, 100%.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the Royal Tenenbaums in a sense where you could see the dramatic appeal of it too. So
yeah,
I think every great comedy has that dramatic undertone story. So that's an excellent pick.
Well, part of the reason I set up my comedy list when I said any comedy, when I said you guys what you want to do, is a lot of mine are overlapping.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't sit down and watch fucking Airplane just whenever I want.
Sure.
Like I like drama with a lot of.
You need substance.
Yeah, I need something more in there.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel about most things, but I do have a very extensive honorable mentions list.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would say I would
ignore that, or just we'll all list them off at the end.
I didn't go that far. I just worked on the top 10. So.
Oh, I have like 30 on my.
Yeah, really? It's not good.
All right. Yeah. Any thoughts on Wolf of Wall Street?
No, I think it's an excellent movie. I mean, Kelly and I have watched it several times, and we get a kick out of it every time.
I need to buy it still. I still haven't bought that one. That's the one I still need to have to own it.
Oh yeah, I got that one.
I need to get it. I just haven't. I just was like, yeah, I've seen it like 3 or 4 times in the theater. I went and saw it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
I was like, Scorsese's fucking 80, and he makes this movie. Like he's still got it. Like he'll
knock it out of the park.
Never leave him. He's the greatest of all time.
The GOAT.
Yeah, he really is. It's incredible.
And it somehow made DiCaprio funny.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how the work he did in that with the cast in it. Holy shit! There's only one scene I hate. That's it.
Which scene is that?
The Jonah Hill and John Bernthal when they're arguing over the suitcase.
Oh, the Line-a-Rama scene when they're just ad-libbing the whole time. Yeah.
Other than that, I think it's flawless.
Yeah.
But I did like John Bernthal. Mom, chicken.
Yeah.
the diner scene still gets me though. Like it is so well put together. Like that conversation piece of you make how much money? So you show me a check for that, and I'll fucking quit my job right now. Next cut. Hey, I quit.
You want to go crack with me?
There's so many funny lines in that movie.
Yeah.
Let alone 100%. The part where they're on Quaaludes and
the Quaaludes scene is
you bring up a good point too, and I think that like what we'll identify from most of these top 10 lists is that I think what makes a comedy really stand out to a lot of people is the quotability of it, right? Yep. Especially for I think my generation, most of your generation, it's quotability is something obviously that it brings people together, right? So if you say a piece from a line and everybody knows it, that movie's top 10 tier.
Well, I was actually funny you bring that up because I don't really watch Royal Tenenbaums, but I quote it all the time because my friend in high school quoted it all the time. So whenever I see someone I know, I'll go, "Oh no, I know you, asshole."
Yeah, which is a line from Witness.
Is it?
Because Wes Anderson has a running gag in his movies. He takes a line from a movie and puts it in the movie. I know you, asshole, is from Witness.
That's
his shtick. That's his thing. Yeah,
it makes sense now that I know that. But
no,
I know it from that movie because my friend knew it from that movie.
Yeah, because Harrison Ford goes to he shouts at Dan Glover, "I know you, asshole." I was like, "That's Royal Tenenbaums."
That checks out. That sounds
hilarious.
Like him.
That's hilarious.
Anyway,
all right,
Dick, what is your number 9?
Well, because Jansen brought it up, Rushmore as a representative.
I already wrote it
as a representative of the Society for Wes Anderson lovers. It's my pick. I love Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou as well, and Royal Tenenbaums. Not so much Darjeeling Limited. That one's kind of but I really like Grand Budapest Hotel. I really like Moonrise Kingdom. I like Wes Anderson. I think his stuff is good and funny. Oh, I loved Isle of Dogs. His stop motion animated stuff is funny. I have a soft spot for him. I can't, he's pretentious as fuck, and I can understand why people would hate him. He's a Texan who lives in Paris. That's all you got to say.
Texan? I never would have guessed.
He's from Austin, Texas. So
I was just going to say it's got to be Austin.
Well, yeah. I think he's from Austin. So
yeah, it's hipster town.
But he lives in Paris with some model wife or something.
Fuck it.
Good for him.
Like it.
Are you thinking of the other Anderson?
Oh, Paul Thomas Anderson?
No,
Paul W.S. Anderson.
Yeah, Paul W., who lives with a model.
And makes the worst movies ever made. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. The Three Musketeers. Don't watch it.
I do love that scene in Rushmore where they're doing the play and they have the helicopters and it's machine guns and shit. That makes me laugh, but it's so
for me it was Bill Murray's reconnaissance. It was his reconnaissance. It was the return of Bill Murray because he was kind of done for a minute there.
Operation Devil Drop will do that.
Yeah, and those movies came out in that period. Like Groundhog Day was 94, so he still had that, but that was like he does like one classic every like 5 years, and he kind of disappears and he comes back. I don't know why, but now he seems to do a movie all the time because he's kind of more open to doing movies. But a lot of them are just shit for money.
It was his last big one that got him attention.
Yeah, and now he's going to be in the new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah,
which they spoiled that when Hasbro released the toy line. They showed the toys, and they're old man Ghostbusters in their jumpsuits.
I really want to
wait.
Even more of a gut than the Ray toy had.
Suck in the guts, fellas, with the Ghostbusters.
Best line in the second movie.
Well,
all right. Yeah, Rushmore's good. I want to be into it, but I just can't. But I definitely understand why people do like it. So.
Yeah. I honestly think a lot of the Wes Anderson like cult following comes down to just how meticulous his movies are and like how pretty they look. It just kind of brings things together for a lot of people. Even if like in Rushmore, I can see how it'd be cringy to some people.
He's a film school hard on. Like he's a film school nerd's like wet dream. That's what he is.
Symmetry and color palettes and everything's there, right? So
he loves guitar. It's like, shut up. Shut up, Truffaut.
Let's all dress them, and I can't get past that. Where I'm like, okay, you're trying way too hard on this stuff.
And it's always that sort of deadpan humor.
Yeah,
always that deadpan delivery, which that's what I love. Yeah, but
I do like Life Aquatic. I do like
Life Aquatic. I really love. A lot of people don't like that one. They hate.
I've only seen it once. I need to watch it again.
Oh, I love that movie. I saw that when it first came out, before it was released in theaters. I saw it. I think Michael Good and I saw it, and you were probably there too, I think, when we all saw it together. I don't know. I think we saw a screening. Maybe it was Remco. But Michael, I don't think Michael liked it. He was like,
I'm sure you guys would have said, we're going to a Wes Anderson screening. I said, no, thanks.
That's probably what happened. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure that's what happened.
Right, that sounds what is your number 9?
My number 9 is a beloved film called Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yeah,
I know this movie is not loved by all, but this was my teen, like my starting teen years, and like this movie for me is just it's all comedy, and it was like my first entry into like not like. It was like a lot of deadpan comedy. I mean, it was my first real entry into that, and like how to understand it and how to enjoy it. And so I really love that movie. It gives me that nostalgia feeling whenever I see it.
It's a movie that was very, very overhyped, and then I watched it. I go, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw it before it was cool.
Okay,
because I was in LA. I was living in LA when that movie came out, and everybody's like, the indie crowd was like, this movie. And they played this kid, and you gotta see it. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Change your name from Top 10 Dick to Hipster Dick.
Big time! I was ahead of the game.
Hip Dick.
I saw The Room before it was cool. I saw all this shit. I was there.
I don't feel pride in that though with The Room.
No. Well, I mean, I was there for the first when it became a comedy sensation before it became ruined.
All his ugly ass face on those billboards in LA. God damn, it was everywhere.
We never knew what it was for either.
We thought it was a vampire movie.
We never understood what it was. Yeah, that's hilarious. All these years.
Napoleon Dynamite, I've only seen it once. I did enjoy it.
Wow.
Did it ever get anything else, like a sequel or a cartoon series or anything? I thought they were doing a show.
Nope.
He did Nacho Libre. That was his follow-up.
Yeah, Nacho Libre. But, I mean, it's a completely different movie, obviously.
Yeah.
But Jared Hess hasn't really done anything else.
But he did just direct the documentary, the Mormon documentary on Netflix. Very good.
Was it the murder, Mormon murder, whatever? Yeah. I watched it.
It's awesome. It was
very good. Yeah, Murder Among the Mormons. I watched that.
That was great. That's that's the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite. That's what he did.
He also did Last Man on Earth, which went nowhere.
Oh, wait, there it is.
It does have it.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw a commercial for this back. I didn't realize it was back in 2012. Holy shit!
How many episodes did they make?
Wow,
6.
Man,
oh, here you go. John
It's the whole cast. What else are they going to do?
Dietrich Bader, yeah.
Yeah.
Haley
Interesting.
Duff.
I had no idea.
Mrs. What's his name from?
Oh, Jennifer Coolidge. Wow, yeah.
Phil
Amy
Lamar?
Poehler.
They're strong.
Sam Rockwell.
Sandy Martin.
Sam Rockwell.
Mrs. Mack.
I need to see this show. Oh, she's dead, isn't she? No, she's still alive.
No,
she's dead.
Jermaine Clement,
Matt's mom.
Amy Poehler, Lauren Tom, Phil Hendry. Holy shit. That
Weird.
cartoon's got some talent behind
Wow.
it.
Interesting.
I kind of want to see this cartoon now.
I guess it really goes to show that it doesn't matter who's in your fucking show.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Was it on Adult Swim or what was that?
Oh, I already closed it. I'm not looking.
No, it's okay. It's not.
Not
It's
pulling
not
it back
I don't care. It's fine.
It's one of those movies where if you ignore, it's like a Borat. If you ignore all the people quoting it and everything, it's still a solid movie. But that popularity was so annoying, like Austin Powers. But other than that,
Sure.
Austin Powers is fun and funny.
Right. No, I think it really got it, it's like when a song gets overplayed on a radio, right? Yeah, and but the movie itself I think still holds up, and it really does have some features in it that I don't think anybody was really doing at the time that made it interesting, right? It was bringing that almost that English deadpan comedy over to the mainstream without really doing it. I don't know how to say it, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I was gonna say, what it reminds me of is those terrible. It's a good version of those terrible movies they make out of SNL skits, like Stuart Saves His Family or It's Pat.
Yeah,
the character, and it felt like they had a pre-existing character and threw him in a movie, but somehow it worked because he wasn't an actual character before.
Yeah, one of the best parts of that movie is when he's trying to try out the time machine. You got to put the crystals in it. Then turn it off, and then Uncle what's his name?
Rico.
Uncle Rico comes in. I could have told you that because he's holding his balls. He fried his balls trying it out. Just a weird subplot that goes nowhere. It's just a strange movie. No.
The whole movie's a subplot.
Yeah,
it's just a window. It's just a window into a weird kid's daily life, and this small town, and it goes nowhere. I love that.
It's got the longest first act in movie history.
It's a simple story.
The fact that they set it in Idaho works really well for it because it's not supposed to go anywhere. It's in fucking Idaho.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just a little slice of life movie, and those are always great.
Mm-hmm.
If you do it right, obviously.
And then when he's trying to open up the Tupperware bowl, I can't do it. Oh,
right. God. My number 9, I'm going to guess nobody will see coming or have on their list. It is a Jim Carrey movie.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I love this movie. Yeah, we honestly just watched this recently. This is a fantastic movie.
Would you call this a comedy though?
Well, I mean, so yeah, it has comedy elements in the way that we're doing it, right? The way that we're doing it. If you feel that it's a comedic value to you, then it counts. But I don't think it would be broadly categorized as a comedy. But I think it is
first, but. It makes me laugh harder than any other Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah, 100%. I love that movie. It's great stuff.
For that, it's all the little subtle stuff because there's a point where he goes and visits his friend who's stocking vending machines. That's his job.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the camera's from the back of the vending machine.
Right.
And you just see the friend like stocking. And he's like, "Oh yeah, what's going on out there?" And he waits for Truman to look away, and then he pulls the candy bars back out and then starts putting them back in.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have enough. It's all that shit. And then when he visits his wife at the hospital and she has to cut the girl's leg open without any medication because she's not a real doctor.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a lot of humor in that, and it's I love it. I love that movie.
Yeah, no,
it's definitely very dramatic. I'm not saying it's not, but
I don't think I have any Jim Carrey movies on my list.
I didn't think I would.
I don't. Yeah,
I do love Truman Show like in a reasonable amount though.
Yeah, I love that movie too. It's a good one.
He might be an honorable mentions. Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
I don't think I have him in my honorable mentions.
He's done maybe one good. Man on the Moon isn't terrible.
Yeah, that's good. But
it's a biopic though. It's not a comedy.
Yeah, well, it's a comedy.
Right.
But
well, it's like there's a lot of Jim Carrey stuff that I like that's really good, but most of it's is more serious stuff like Eternal Sunshine. Like I love that movie.
Well, yeah, Eternal Sunshine. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, isn't that considered more of a comedy too, though?
I don't think so. No,
there's almost a lot less humor in that one than Truman.
Yeah, that one's got some pretty dark undertones. In fact.
Oh yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah,
but Truman Show I love. If you watch Ed TV, which came out at the same time, I watched that.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is fucking garbage. Like it's bad. I thought I remember Ed TV was getting all the buzz around this time because it had Matthew McConaughey when he was blowing up. It's stupid. It's real stupid.
Interesting. Good pick, man.
But I love the part where they're on the beach and it's raining and it's just the water is trying to keep up
just
with
following them. Yes.
It's great stuff.
And it proves to you the audience isn't stupid because I think Truman Show made more money than Ed TV.
Yeah.
And Ed TV was promoted way more.
I just remember every other commercial was Ed TV. Ed TV. I'm like, oh my God, stop.
Nah, it was terrible.
Yeah. All right. What is your number 8, Dick?
I'm going to go. This is going to be my Harold Ramis 80s category film, Caddyshack.
Oh.
No, Caddyshack. It's Ryan Dangerfield. It's Ted Knight. It's Brian Doyle Murray. It's Bill Murray. It's the A team of the 70s and 80s doing a movie. And I just always love this movie. It's funny to me. I love it. I've grown up with it. Again, it's one of those father-son share movies that you don't seem to have. I'm not trying to.
It's a solid pick. It's a solid pick.
I'm sorry about that tear coming down your eye.
I think that category kind of missed me though. Those movies, like specifically like Bill Murray movies, like it's just outside of my generation. It's not that I don't appreciate it and I don't think it has value and I don't like it. It's just that it wouldn't fall into my top 10, but it's a solid movie.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying that. That's why I put it in number 8 because I figured that's the representation of that period of comedies, that time frame. Because like the 80s and 70s, like Animal House, I put in the same frame. Neighbors, Blues Brothers, Animal House, that all kind of falls in the same stripes. That all falls in the same kind of group. Fletch.
I was just going to say Fletch is probably my
same
favorite
thing.
of those.
I like Fletch a lot. That's an honorable mention would be Fletch. I love Fletch.
Fletch is great.
Yeah.
Fletch 2 is fucking pure garbage.
Fletch 2 I have not watched. Yeah, I couldn't do that one.
Oh, it's if you want to watch a movie in one set where Chevy Chase cannot be funny in, Fletch 2 is your movie.
Yeah. But I just like the behind the scenes stuff with Caddyshack though, how Kenny I can't remember his last name off the top of my head, but he was one of the writers and the producers. He dies before this movie comes out because he was in Hawaii and he fell off a cliff. And a lot of people think he committed suicide. And Chevy Chase said, no, he didn't commit suicide. He just fell. He was either high or somebody threw him off the cliff because that's just how he was. Because they said he got depressed on this movie because it wasn't what he originally intended. He wanted it to be more of a serious movie. And because of the sort of fly-by-the-pants sort of improv going on in the movie, it didn't follow any script. So he got mad because the script that he wrote for it was kind of thrown out. And it's more or less about Bill Murray and Rodney Dangerfield and Chevy Chase's ad-libbing than anything else, really.
Yeah, it's a movie that if you're not into that ad-libbing stuff, it's going to be a rough watch.
Yeah.
I do like the movie. I do think it's a little overrated, but that's because I probably could have seen it so many times.
Yeah.
It is a funny movie. Like Bill Murray. Chevy, I hate Chevy Chase.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Yeah. Yeah. That's another reason I don't have like another honorable mention, Christmas Vacation. Yeah. I don't have my top 10 because the hatred for Chevy Chase is so high that I just cannot put him in a top 10 for anything. Yeah.
Why do people hate Chevy Chase so much, though? That's my question.
Like,
he's an asshole.
Go watch Joel McHale talk about him about the Community episode.
No, I don't give a shit about him in his personal life. I'm talking about like just him as an actor. Like, does anybody hate him for what he actually does on screen? Because I think that would be ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think he's funny.
No, I think he thinks he's funny.
Yeah,
and that's the problem.
I think he's an overrated actor for sure, but I do think that he's had his moments.
All I know is all his contemporaries are 10 times funnier than him, and people get along with him for the most part.
Right. That seems to be the key thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You kind of go off that.
Okay.
But he had a bunch of good movies in a row, and then suddenly his career fell apart, and he blamed everyone else. Like maybe you're just a huge asshole. That's why it didn't work out for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, good number 8, right? Number 8, yeah.
Number 8.
Jansen, what is your number 8?
My number 8 is
that's a smirk. Oh god.
it's not a smirk. My number 8 is Tropic Thunder.
Okay.
I think this movie is fantastic. It's over the top, it's obscure, it's ridiculous, and it works. So it's a really just a fun, stupid, ridiculous movie. And you can't beat the cast either. So it's interesting to see all these people play these most ridiculous parts. I mean, Ben Stiller's still doing his same bullshit, but like to see Robert Downey Jr. playing that type of role was just good fun. So I really enjoy watching that one. I get a kick out of it every time.
I killed what I loved. You killed a hooker. Yeah. Okay, listen, Tug. Get some bleach. No, I killed a panda. What? A panda? Oh, thank God. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, good. No, that's fine. Oh, God.
But I mean, the cast is so stacked. You got like Nick Nolte, Bill Hader, Danny McBride, Jay Baruchel, Robert Downey Jr., Jack Black, Ben Stiller, like
that black guy who never did anything ever again.
I have
Brandon Jackson.
Yeah, I have an affinity for Jay Baruchel and Nick Nolte. When they're in a movie, I will watch it. I don't give a shit how terrible it is. I don't know what it is about those guys. Jay Baruchel just looks like a guy I could hang out with. Exactly.
I was just gonna say that. Jay Baruchel is just that. He's just that average dude that, like, man, you look like you'd be fun to chill with.
Yeah, he's Are You Afraid of the Dark alumni. I could definitely.
He just directed a movie, I guess. Yeah, that got some acclaim or something, or didn't. I know something.
Well, and then Nick Nolte's just like, oh, I got to see this train wreck.
Nick Nolte, I never want to meet in person.
Because
I love Blue Chips, and I would never be able to watch that movie.
I play a midget in The Mandalorian.
I like to gargle glass.
God, I need a cigarette break. But now so Tropic Thunder, I feel like is the last like true comedy of the generations, because nobody will do this ever again. You're never going to have a white guy play a black, like make a joke out of being a black character.
Yeah, that was another
not going to happen.
That was another big reason I picked it, because nobody is doing this non-PC bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
And it's really sad because that's the shit that gets the biggest laughs.
Yeah.
I love the fact that people are giving Robert Downey Jr. shit for that now.
Yeah.
I'm listening to this shit going, he's making fun of actors who would do that, right? He's not making fun of black people, you fucking idiot.
And he was nominated for an Academy Award where the Academy Award is now not nominating white people anymore. They just can't do it because, we've been too white for too long. It's like, you guys are fucking useless.
Hey, I've been white for a long time. Okay?
I've been whiting it up for years. But the other good thing, so Tropic Thunder. So okay, this is how I see the joke. But I don't know about you. Remember that scene where Matthew McConaughey is talking to Stiller, and he's saying he wants to adopt a kid, and he says, "Well, McConaughey says, when you adopt, at least you get to pick it." And it shows a picture of McConaughey's son, and the son's like this, like he looks retarded. And I think, is that the joke? Is the joke that his son was born mentally disabled? Because it comes back in the end when he's on the G5, and his son is in the plane with him, and he has that same look where he looks. It's just like, is that a mental retard joke?
Probably.
I don't know. I think it is. It sounds like it is.
Yeah.
But and I laugh every time. It's the best joke in the movie. I love it. I laugh every time I see it. I mean, like, guffaw. I'm just like, they don't fucking care. It's like, wow. That was a
very funny movie, though.
It is funny. It's a good one.
Solid movie.
It
reminds me of, it's like a Farley Brothers movie that is really well done. If I could give one movie credit and take away from the Farley Brothers.
Well, Kingpin.
Kingpin's fine. It's fine. It's nowhere near Tropic Thunder, though.
No.
How funny it is. But yeah, it's a fun movie. But yeah, Tropic Thunder is great. I've only seen it 1.5 times, I think.
Yeah, I've only seen it a handful of times, but like it's got to make it onto my list.
Yeah.
All right, Phoenix.
You and I talked about a movie in person, and I was like, I just threw it out as a movie, and you're like, that's probably gonna make my list. So I'm curious if it shows up.
That's probably gonna make my list. Oh yeah, it's up there.
Okay.
I think if I'm thinking of the same movie that we talked about, is the movie on my never mind.
Yeah, we'll find out. All right, my number 8 is, this is where we show our age here.
Okay.
You notice how Dick and I are going a little bit 15 years before you are?
That's fine.
So my number 2, Back to the Future 2.
Okay, yeah, that's a solid pick. I love the Back to the Future everything, so I don't disagree with that whatsoever.
I did not choose one Because I like the second one more. I like the overlapping timelines. I think it adds a lot of humor, especially when he's trying to reach the magazine.
It makes a more interesting movie.
And
it's like leaps and bounds. It is a more interesting movie than the first one.
And no Crispin Glover.
No Crispin Glover, except in flashbacks.
And he sued for that and he won.
Yeah, well,
he's right.
Wasn't in his contract in the first movie, so fuck him.
Yeah. He hates Bob Gale. I know that.
Well, it's they keep talking about Back to the Future 4, and I'm like, no. Christopher Lloyd is 85 probably now, right?
And Michael J. Fox can't do it.
Michael J. Fox is surprisingly active for considering how long he's been with Parkinson's. But he looks better than I thought he would at this time. But the second movie is great. They made some predictions. They're only off by 1 year with the Chicago Cubs victory. 1 year they're off by. That's incredible.
Right.
It's so close. But I love the Jaws, and it's just great design in that city where, a little Universal.
Well, I mean, it was
city that they have there. It's great.
I mean, everybody's like future thought is like, oh, we're going to have flying cars and this, and that, the other. I mean, they got a lot of things right?
Yeah.
They got the whole, like, all these kitchen aid things right. They got all these like voice activated things right. They got a lot of this holographic and visual type things right. Even a lot of the clothing stuff. Shit, they actually made those shoes and people bought them. A lot of it's the nostalgia factor from the film, but they're fucking stylish. So
I don't have Michael Jackson selling me a soda. I don't have hoverboards don't work on water. We don't have that.
Hoverboards is still never going to happen.
They try. They try.
Unless you got power.
Great. I love that movie.
It's good stuff. My favorite part about that movie is little baby Elijah Wood playing the video games in the soda shop.
That's so a baby's toy.
Yeah.
Little baby Billy Zane. He got a lot of babies in there.
Yeah.
Little baby Flea.
Slacker! Are you telling my son?
Little baby Principal Strickland. It's great. And when he goes back and he lands in that girl's her bedroom, and the dad chases him out with a baseball bat. It's great. It's a fun movie. I don't know. It's just that's not a movie that needs to be attached to anything else, like Truman Show, where it's mostly dramatic. That's just a straight comedy, but what it's tied to is this interesting time story element.
Well, it's like it's basically a science fiction comedy.
Yeah, but it's mostly focused on comedy.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, nobody was really doing that shit in that time era anyway, right? I mean, you had TV shows that dealt with like time travel and bullshit, but nobody was doing it on that scale and making it that fun.
Yeah. Bob Gale did not get the credit he deserved.
Bob Gale sucks.
That's why I said that. All right. Dick, what is your number 7?
But I would say honorable mention though, used cars. I do like used cars.
For Russell movie?
Yeah, it's Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale's movie.
Yeah,
it's a great movie. It's a great comedy.
Bob Gale.
Bob Gale sucks. I'm going deep on this one.
Deep cuts.
This is my cinephile.
Can you say the year, and I'll try to guess the movie.
I think it's 37.
Oh God, you lost me, bro.
Modern Times.
Close. It's a Night at the Opera. Marx Brothers. Night at the Opera. Now, everyone will say Duck Soup is the quintessential Marx Brothers movie, and Duck Soup is funny, and it is good. Like I would say they're about equal terms because Duck Soup has one of the greatest visual gags ever.
Yeah.
When because they're all brothers, So when they dress up like Groucho, they all look like Groucho. So Harpo Marx is dressed up as Groucho, and he runs away from the real Groucho at night, and he crashes into a mirror. So the mirror breaks. So like Groucho comes to the mirror, and it's him, and they have basically this. They're miming each other the whole time for the scene, and it's one of the funniest fucking scenes, and it's all done in camera, one take, brilliant stuff, like funny shit. But that's not this movie. The Night at the Opera was more or less more of a. It had more of an act structure. It was more like 1 act, 2 act, 3 act, as opposed to Duck Soup, where it's kind of just all over the place. But Night at the Opera it's funny. It suffers from the 30s problem with like they have to have musical numbers, and it's more like a vaudeville show. It's like there's a lot going on, but it's not as bad as Coconut.
Everybody.
Little something for everybody, but not as bad as their earlier stuff like Coconuts. tons of musical dance numbers, and you're just like, I don't fucking care. Stop it. But this one is more streamlined. It's basically, Brain Donors. You ever see Brain Donors? It's the same movie. It's basically Brain Donors is a remake of this movie.
What do you got against musicals, Dick?
I fucking hate musicals.
My only complaint about Blues Brothers is too many musical numbers. That
like Blues Brothers was going to be on this list, but again, I was like, it's too much of a musical. I felt Caddyshack was a representation of that era.
Blues Brothers was an honorable mention for me.
Sure. I would say for sure.
It's on my, I won't even mention it later. I'll delete it off there, but it's definitely on there.
No, I love Blues Brothers, but it's just
all the acting scenes in Blues Brothers are great.
Yeah,
all the musical scenes, I'm like, this is going on 4 minutes too long. Like Aretha Franklin does not need to sing for this long. Shit.
No, that is first off, it's a fucking long movie to begin with, and so several of those numbers could have been cut.
Well, we've seen the extended version over
the
top row, and it
is long. It's long.
How long is it?
It's long.
It adds another 20-30 minutes, something like that.
Jeez.
And you could tell too because it's not quite cleaned up, so it's got that extra grain on it.
Oh yeah.
So it's an added footage.
It didn't get the color timing pass.
Yeah.
So it's
just I've watched a few long movies. Like I've seen The Irishman twice, and I'll sit through that. But I don't know if I could sit through an extended version of the Blues Brothers.
They just kind of explain it's like you saw the Blues Brothers. This sort of explains what happens in the Blues Brothers by showing you, like the glue scene. Where he says, "This is glue, strong stuff." The beginning of the movie, you see Dan Aykroyd working in the glue factory, and he's making the glue, and he takes a can, he puts it in his. It's basically the origin story of the can of glue, and that's what we get to see.
And they show more about how the Soggy Bottom brothers or whatever they are, Soggy Bottom boys, whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot more of them.
There's a lot more of that. Like
a lot more of that. Yeah,
as long, and I'm like, nobody cares.
All you need to have them do is take the RV up the hill through the sign, and the guy says, "Don't you say a fucking word." That's all you gotta have in that whole for that whole bit.
All they needed for the musical number there was just like, "We're gonna do great." Beer bottle. Bottle. That's it. Cut it. Get out of there. We're done. We don't need to see the song. That's the joke.
Right.
Yeah, they show the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
All right. I can't really say anything about Night at the Opera. I can't really add to that.
Never seen it.
So
great.
Sorry. Good pick.
Great movie.
Thanks.
Again,
moving on.
Grew up on it. Good movie.
Yeah, I have nothing to add to that. I'm adding it to the list to watch it. So
no. Watch Marx Brothers movies. They're funny. They're still funny this day.
My dog looks like Groucho Marx.
Oh yeah, it's funny shit.
It's true, he does.
He does. He's got the full eyebrows.
Archford.
Hutch looks like Groucho Marx.
Oh, I'm thinking Arch because he's got the more. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but Hutch has those eyebrows.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Too. Take Hutch's eyebrows
and Archie's little beard.
Are they more or less Marty Scorsese eyebrows?
Pretty much, yeah.
No, Archie looks more like Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, he does. But Hutch looks like if Groucho Marx had like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh.
Jansen has a dog that looks like a 75-year-old old man. It's amazing.
Let me get him.
Who makes really good movies?
If he's around.
He's around. I'll grab him real quick.
It's your pick, though, so I don't know.
I'll be right back.
Let's talk about Night at the Opera. So let's look it up.
I'm done. No, there's good bits in there, and again, it's one of those movies that I will quote, but I quote it with people who've seen the movie. So
1935.
35, yeah.
It has a 7.9.
Yeah. Oh my God! Look at that dog.
This
is Archie.
Dog.
Hello, how are you? I wrote and directed that episode of Night Gallery in
Archie.
Twilight Zone.
You see them?
I'm Melvin.
He's a sad old man. He's a 2-year-old dog that looks like a 75. He looks like Martin Scorsese.
I'll get Hutch 1 second.
This is just like the beginning of Pig.
I don't pick him up. He's a big bastard.
Oh my God!
He's got the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, he's got those. Look at that! Wow. Put a cigar in his mouth. Put a cigar in his mouth.
Kelly next to you. Are you in there?
There he is.
Come on.
Here's the dog.
Pick up Kelly. Shake her at the camera.
Come on. Go on.
It's your wife. Go bring her. Shake her to the camera.
Kelly.
Everybody.
All right.
Kelly wanted me to hold her up and put her in front of the camera too.
I wanted you to. Like a guy posing with a fish.
All right. My number 7 is the best Jack Black movie of all time, School of Rock.
Oh, okay.
This movie for me, hold on, out of breath. I had to wrangle them.
Well, while you're taking a breath, I've never seen this.
You've never seen it? Oh my God, it's so good. It's
I don't watch Jack Black movies.
It's music without being a musical. It's fun. It's Jack Black at his
Selena
best.
Gomez in her earliest days.
Sure, why not? You know what I mean? But
I'll be right back.
Where's he going?
Yeah, jerk it. Oh, I felt good.
I had to carry something from the other room too.
That John Carpenter.
They ran around. I had to chase
him
down. Ugh, I'm old and fat. Okay. Joan Cusack. It's just good. It's fun. It makes me happy. It's music that my dad brought me up with. To see it in a film that is funny and makes sense with my generation, it makes me feel good. So I love it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Again, another one of your movies that has a TV show based off of it. It
has a whole, like, they built a school. There's a real school of rock now. Like, it's like national and international.
Do they only play Tenacious D songs?
No.
That'd been fun.
No, but they do a lot of covers. Like, I've looked on YouTube. They have all these cover songs that are amazing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I've caught bits and pieces here and there, and I'm like, looks fine. I just never sat down and watched it. I have nothing against it.
Sure. I feel that. We'll watch it sometime. I'll make you sit down and watch it.
Yeah. I'm not against it, like I said.
All right, cool. Dick, you got any thoughts?
You seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it probably once all the way through, and I just kind of dismissed it. It's fine. I don't know. Number 8 or 7, that's pretty high. It's not a bad movie. I appreciate, it's Jack Black, and he's a musician, and he's funny. But I would put Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny over this movie.
I've honestly, I don't think I've actually ever made it through all of Tenacious. It's too wacky for me.
It's too wacky. It's not a good movie.
It is rough.
No, it's terrible.
In this movie, it's like it has a lot of ties to my childhood, which is why I enjoy it so much.
Think about. I guess the only thing I could say, the reason I skipped this movie is because I've known who Tenacious D was since 95. Whenever Mr. Show debuted, I watched that because I had HBO growing up. And Jack Black was there, Kyle Gass, and all them were doing Tenacious D back then. So 15 years later, when they make a movie and he's doing more, I'm like, oh, I'm done with Jack Black by now. I don't need any more.
I mean, I will tell you, this movie is not Tenacious D. It has nothing to do with it. It has no similarities other than the fact that they play some music. But it is not a musical. There is a music number at the end of the movie, but it is really a comedic drama story. It's hilarious.
I will definitely watch it.
Watch it.
Against it.
I bet.
Did that TV show last?
Oh, God, no. God, no.
Right?
That lasted 2 weeks and it was gone. Rightfully so.
My number 7 has a TV show.
Oh.
I've never seen it, but my number 7,
Snatch. Snatch.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
I forgot about Snatch. You like Degs?
Degs?
Woof, woof.
Need a caravan?
Need a caravan?
Don't go to England.
Snatch. I had to put a Guy Ritchie movie on there. The Gentleman made my honorable mention list because that is a great movie as well.
But that's more of a movie. Snatch is more of a, I'd say, comedy.
I think Snatch is comedy. I for sure think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got dramatic values to it, but that style of movie,
because
it's punchy and it throws things at you, and it's just like ridiculous and far fetched, and it's a comedy.
Yeah, because I would say Gentleman has more of a storyline.
Yeah, but
it's kind of through. It's funny, but it's like more or less serious because when you get into the whole like this guy's going to rape my wife thing and then he kills him, that's kind of okay. This is like serious crime movie, more of a crime movie than Snatch.
I'll say this: if you're saying what movie is a better representation of film, I'm going to say The Gentleman. What would I rather up again? Snatch 10 times before I watch them, and I love both movies. So
So have you?
I love Lenny James in that movie and his little group of people. And my favorite scene. Sorry, we'll get to you in a second, Jensen.
Oh, you're fine.
When they're in the car and they stole the car and the big fat dude's in the front and he's driving and he's like backing up and he hits the van that Frankie Four Fingers is in.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, He's like, how could you hit it? He's like, came at a funny angle. He's like, it's directly behind you. When you go in reverse, then things tend to come from behind.
Is Snatch the one? No, I think that's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. I love
that's also my honorable mention.
Yeah, I love Guy Ritchie movies. Like honorable mention for sure for me is Rock and Rolla. That movie is fantastic. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but
I've seen that once. And
I didn't love it. Movie. I wasn't a big. It was fine. I didn't love it.
That was like one of what's his name, Tom Hardy. That's like one of his first like. I feel like mainstream notices that I saw him in. Obviously, I know he's done stuff before that, but like that got me interested in him as an actor.
Was that Handsome Bob? Was he Handsome Bob?
Yeah, Handsome Bob. Okay. Yeah,
I know him from Star Trek.
Oh God,
Nemesis.
But I mean, Rock and Roll. Idris Elba, Gerard Butler,
Andy Newton,
Jeremy Piven.
Jeremy Piven's in that.
Jeremy Piven's in that.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Wow,
Ludacris is in it.
Yeah,
it's Jeremy Piven and Ludacris are like music producers in it together.
The one I really want to watch that I haven't is Revolver.
Revolver is pretty good. It's not.
I heard that was bad.
It's not as it's okay. It's not as good as the other ones. It's probably on my lower scale of Ritchie films. So
I even liked the fucking King George movie or whatever the hell it's called, King Arthur.
Oh yeah. With
I was like, what the? Why am I liking this?
I don't know. Yeah, that's a rough one.
It's because the way he puts it together, right? It's the editing. It's the slap of the title of the person on it, and it's the rock and roll version of the movie. It makes it fun.
It's like right in the middle between Snatch and the Sherlock Holmes movie. It's right there. It's like those tied together. And I've never seen the second Sherlock Holmes movie. So those are two Guy Ritchie movies I've never watched. I think the only two. Revolver and Game of Shadows, Sherlock Holmes, what the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
But Snatch I love. This movie I watched and I was like, holy, because I already love Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, and this one came out and I was like, this is that movie redone.
Mm-hmm. It is. It really is.
It flows and the story keeps you invested. And I love how little of a shit Mickey, Brad Pitt's character, gives. He's like, I don't give a shit.
I don't give a fuck.
Keeps killing people. Doesn't give a fuck. And then the end is just I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like Jason Statham is a pretty like.
If you haven't seen Snatch yet, it's been 21 years.
Yeah, but young kids, who knows?
Young kids are stupid.
I think Snatch was one of the first movies I made Kelly watch with me.
Really?
Yeah, I love that movie a lot.
I have not seen the TV show. I cannot speak for it. It's got Rupert Grint.
I think I watched Rupert Grint. Yeah, I think I watched like the first episode. I wasn't.
I refuse to watch anything Sony makes. That's my reasoning for not watching it.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to your number 6, the last one of this episode, and then we'll start a new podcast after this. If you're on the podcast. Dick, what is your number 6?
I'm going to end this on this note. I'm going to get you, sucker. The Keenan Ivory Wayans spoof on black exploitation movies, but also one of the best representations for the In Living Color era of comedy with the Wayans brothers and everything else.
I grew up watching this movie on a shelf, or seeing this movie on a shelf at the video store going, I like In Living Color a lot. And I think I rented it once and didn't watch it. And I've seen bits and pieces here, and then I liked it, and I've never sat down and watched it. I don't know why.
It's funny.
I think I would love it. It's
a great comedy. Have you ever seen it, Jansen? Or
sorry, repeat the movie name again. I just got a message from someone.
I'm gonna get you, sucker. It's a 1986 movie or 87.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's a mostly black 88. Cast. 88. Oh wow, yeah. Great movie, great comedy.
It's everyone from In Living Color.
Yes, pretty much.
No, never seen it.
Bernie Casey and Jim Brown. I mean, this is awesome.
Vernon's in it.
The only name I recognize on here is Damon Wayans. So if that tells you anything,
Oh, Jim Brown. You know Jim Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve James.
Damon Wayans, and that's so Bernie K. They're all great. It's just
I guarantee. Look, I click on this guy. You're gonna recognize his face.
oh yeah. Yeah, it's Antonio Vargas was Huggy Bear from. He plays the pimp of the year in this movie.
This guy from what show is he on?
Starsky and Hutch.
No,
Huggy Bear. Oh, who?
No.
Which guy?
Kadeem Harris Hardison.
Oh, put his picture up again.
What show is he on? God damn it! It's driving me crazy.
Well, it'll be on IMDb.
Different World.
Yeah, Different World.
Also, White Man Can't Jump.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy. It's like. Are you familiar with In Living Color, Jansen?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so we grew up on that show. It was
that missed me completely.
Yeah, it was all the Wayans, all of them, every single one of 55 Wayans, Fly Girls,
all funny, all Fly equally Girls funny.
J-Lo, that's where we know J-Lo from.
Yeah, J-Lo got her start from the Fly Girl.
It's where I know Jim Carrey from.
Yeah, Jim Carrey got a start on there. Yeah,
and then
he was basically the breakout star was Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey,
and he was the biggest guy to come out of that group.
David Allen Greer, Tommy Davidson. Who else was in there?
Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx got a start on there.
I know Jamie Foxx from.
Yeah, great stuff. I just funny show. In Living Color is a funny show. Might be dated now, but there's some funny fucking shit.
You're gonna watch it now and go, watch Fire Marshal Bill with Jim Carrey. That's all you need to watch.
No, you gotta watch the one where they do the 1992 LA riots telethon where I think David Allen Greer is Rodney King, and Jim Carrey is the white guy that got the shit kicked out of him, the trucker. What was his name? Oh God! But he makes his eye go crooked. It's the funniest shit, and they're talking about the riots, like they're making a joke out of the LA riots.
Yeah, Dick is getting a kick out of this. I'm sure.
Oh man!
Just the other night we were talking Simpsons jokes, and I was crying.
Yeah,
oh god,
we were just reminiscing.
And that's another one that kind of I missed the cut on too. As a kid, I wasn't really allowed to watch stuff like that. So, Simpsons, I've seen a lot of it. Don't get me wrong, but I've never been a religious watcher of it, and I've heard that the more recent years suck anyway. So,
yeah.
Look at this cast, man. Young Jim Carrey, Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon, David Allen Greer.
Well, there's another movie that kind of gets lost called Hollywood Shuffle, which is Robert Townsend. He's another black actor comedian. He's pretty good, but nobody really talks about Hollywood Shuffle enough. Fire Marshal Bill, yeah.
All you need to watch of In Living Color is
there. Fire Marshal
always set the set on fire.
Oh my god!
Let me tell you something.
Oh my god! Interesting.
His open heart surgery scar. I gotta show it. That was a good bit.
Set the set on fire while teaching kids how to prevent fires. And the joke was he's horribly burned. That's it.
But yeah, I'm gonna get you, sucker. Chris Rock's first performance when he comes into the joke where he goes into Isaac Hayes' place and they own a rib joint in a soul food restaurant. He goes, how much for one rib? He said, one rib, one order of ribs. No, one rib. He goes, one rib. I said, yeah, just one rib. I show him hungry. And he goes, no, I ain't gonna do that for you. He goes, okay, man. Well, how about a paper cup of soda? He goes, I'll give you 15 cents for a cup of soda. My cups cost more than 15 cents. Oh, come on, put it in my hand then. I'll drink it from my hand. Get the fuck out. He goes, fine. Well, you better order something right now. And he goes, fine. I'll take a number one. And he goes, okay, that'll be $3.95. He's counting his change, and he pulls out a wad of hundreds, and he goes, you got change for 100? Oh, brilliant joke, and just great setup. Yeah, I'm going to get you stuck. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
All right.
It's pretty damn solid. I think it stands the test of time.
Another one from them that stands the test of time as well is Don't Be a Man.
Yes.
Control drinking and juice.
Don't Be a Man is also very good. Yes.
Yeah.
I hate my teeth because they're white, because they're my gums because they're black. Because Bernie Mac plays a cop that hates himself because he's a black guy.
My dad. Yeah.
Oh my god! I hate my gums because they're black.
Oh my god!
So funny shit.
My
what
turn.
is our number 6?
Number 6, Work Sucks. Office Space.
There you go. That's a good one.
I love Office Space. It's I loved it before I worked in an office like this, and it holds more value to me now. Coming from that,
and shove it.
right? And it's I don't know. I love watching this movie. It makes me feel good.
Well, not
makes me feel good about what I'm doing. What's that?
Nothing.
Oh, it's on your list too. Is it number 6?
No, it's not.
Oh man, I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I love it. I don't know what else to really say about it. I just like my favorite part is the scene where they go out, take the Xerox machine out into the freaking woods and just beat the shit out of it with baseball bats. Yeah, that right there. It's just a good time. And it gives you all those like insights into the feelings that you have about working in a type of environment and the things that you want to do but can't do. So I love it. It's good stuff.
Everyone's had a job where some piece of equipment just drove you fucking crazy and the company was too cheap to replace it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think anyone who's ever worked in an office or any job like that can appreciate that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I love Mike Judge. Most of what he's done has been solid. I do have also my honorable mention list is the first half of Idiocracy.
Mm-hmm.
I think is perfect comedy. The second half is kind of stupid and falls apart. But the
what about where in that movie do you think it falls apart?
The second Costco trip, or the first, maybe it's one Costco, but when they get caught there and then he gets taken back into prison again, I'm like, okay,
yes, okay,
it becomes repetitive and falls apart.
About the time when Terry Crews comes into it, you're like, I'm good.
But that first 40 minutes is fucking perfect.
Go away, I'm biting.
Yeah, but Office Space is I love it because it's a simple movie. It's a super simple.
Right.
And a guy likes a waitress and hates his job. I get it. Who hasn't been there?
He does what nobody else is willing or wanting to do, and he just says, fuck it. Fuck this job. I'm going to go get that girl. I'm going to go live my life.
And there's a part of the plot that most people forget about, which is he goes to a therapist, a hypnotist, because his girlfriend at the time tells him to. And he begrudgingly goes there, and then the guy dies. The guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Mm-hmm.
That big dude has a heart attack, and then he gets stuck like that. And I think most people forget about that part. That's why he becomes, later on, he stops giving a shit. And the scenes where he's just like shoving over his partition in his cubicle, and like
dismantling it,
playing
flops the fish on the desk,
eating Cheetos. He's like, no, I got the meeting with the Bobs. Great.
Did you finish those TPS reports? No.
Yeah, it's great.
Are you going to? No.
It's that and The Big Lebowski are the two most quotable comedies of my lifetime.
Really? Okay.
Dick, you are suspiciously quiet right now.
There are two movies that are more quotable to my lifetime, but I can see the value in both of those, obviously. All right. What's yours, Phoenix?
My number 6. This is gonna be a weird one as well.
Oh, very good.
The Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
It's a good choice.
I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
This is the horror one, right?
Yes, but it's making fun of the whole. It's not making fun of horror movies. It's making fun of the structure of our horror movie in America.
It's more of a satire than it is a horror movie.
Yes. I recently watched this one, and we didn't realize like how gritty and gory it was going to be. And my wife's like, I don't know if I can finish this. And I was like, but this is fucking good. Like,
finish it, bitch.
Did you finish the movie though, Jansen?
Oh yeah, we ended up finishing it later on.
Yeah.
But we had like a friend over too, and they weren't that into it. I was like, whatever. But I loved it.
It's in my top 15 of movies.
It's really good.
I love it. It's
I love the opening with Richard Jenkins and the other guy where they're just talking banal office bullshit about their life, and all of a sudden, cabin in the woods.
He's sitting there. He's like, I'm gonna go grab a power drill and liberate my cabinets. The cabin in the woods.
Cabin in the woods. It's like the loudest thing ever in the theater.
Richard Jenkins and
what's his name? Yeah, I forget.
Also from this movie. If I could throw this up, he's in this movie, Billy Madison.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, he plays Eric. Eric's gonna be a soccer player.
I have a lot of these movies have like overlapping actors. I don't know if you guys noticed that about your own movies that you picked.
I'm sure they do. But Cabin in the Woods is our last one of this particular episode.
Yeah.
Cabin in the Woods, I do love. It's one of those movies I heard that you shouldn't watch the trailer. So when it came on TV, I turned off the TV. So I can go watch it in the theater and not have it spoiled. And I'm so fucking glad I did, because it would, if you give any sort of hint of what this movie's about, I think it would ruin it a lot. Excuse me, hiccups.
Yeah, because it was, I mean, I didn't see any trailers to it. And then we just like randomly found it. I was like, all right, let's just fucking watch it. And then I had no idea. Like I was completely blown away. I wasn't expecting any of it.
Cabin in the Woods has that unfortunate history of being one of those movies that was pushed back like 3 years.
Yeah.
So this movie was supposed to come out like 3 years before it came out, because I guess MGM went broke, and whoever had owned it, they went under, and some other company bought it, then released it. But it took like 2 years to legally get everything figured out, because this was supposed to be Chris Hemsworth's first movie.
Yeah.
And then I think Thor came out, and everybody, like the cat was out of the bag that Chris Hemsworth was a pretty good actor and a pretty good comedian, really, or comedic actor.
I didn't see Thor by the time I saw this, but I knew who he was, just osmosis through pop culture. But I knew him from something else. I forget what. But I just watched it, and I remember watching it in the theater, going, "God, this stoner character, Marty." I'm like, I fucking hate this character. I was expecting a regular. Yeah. Turns out that was the fucking joke.
No,
I had no idea. I'm like, God, this character sucks. And then suddenly he starts going like, what's that? And then he starts to become aware of the plot. And I'm like, okay, something else is. And I love that moment where you realize there's like meta shit going on.
Yeah.
And the characters ahead of you. It's so rare, because I can always usually guess the end of a fucking movie. And I'm like, okay, something's going on. I had no fucking idea where this is going to go.
I mean, the third act of that movie, I was like, I thought I knew what was happening. Yeah. I guess I don't know what was happening. Holy fuck.
That's why I love that movie. And just the end, I'm going to spoil it for you. So if you want to watch it, fast forward a minute. Just the end of, we had a good run. Fuck it. This is what it takes to keep this shit going. Not worth it. Fuck it. I love that, like, the nihilistic attitude.
I just love. I love the part where Richard Jenkins is, because all the other around the world groups have failed, and the Japanese girls are finishing off the demon and doing their dance, and the circuit goes, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you." He's yelling at the Japanese little girls.
Record, huh?
Oh, that shit was good.
And Bradley Whitford, that's his name.
Bradley Whitford, yeah.
Oh shit, that was driving me crazy.
I gotta watch that movie again. I forgot how good it was.
The whole time they're betting on what's gonna kill them. Yeah. He keeps betting over and over. You can tell.
Yeah, on the merman.
And then finally he looks over and he's like, sees the merman crawling toward him. He's like, oh, come on.
Well, that's the thing. This is probably the last great movie with so many setups and payoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of a movie that has so many, like, this is going to come into it later. Just wait and see. And, like, you don't see that in movies anymore. They're all the same, like, paint by number formulaic plot line. And this one actually took the time to, like, set up the joke before everything.
Hey, 100%. About Joss Whedon, but.
Yeah, no, he knows what he's doing when it comes to comedy.
All right, that's the end of the first half of our list. Let's end the podcast there. We'll get back with our bottom five and really break down our top ones.
Your bottom five.
I'm Phoenix West.
Ticket.
Jansen Cartland.
So long, citizens. If you're on the live stream, stay tuned in a moment. If you're on the podcast, just click on the next podcast. That's how podcasts work, asshole. Figure it out.
Come on, idiot.
How old are you?
Stupid. What a dumb idiot.
If you're that dumb, you shouldn't be listening to this, because we're swearing. Your parents.
How do you even work a phone? How do you function?
Holy shit! Why do you have a phone if you can't figure that out?
Stupid.
Christ. All right. So long. I'm gonna save that and go potty.
All right, I'm gonna go order food with my wife real quick. Be right back.
Oh, you're your wife.
You know what, dude? Stupid.
Fuck you.
You're tacky and I hate you, and you don't know what that's from because you haven't seen the movie.
I muted you, Dick. Dun 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 dun. Nobody's here.
Okay. Well,
Oh, hey.
I can't wait for Suicide Squad.
It actually looks decent.
It's getting really good reviews.
Yeah. It's so weird that everyone from that series over at Marvel is went bloop,
Yeah.
over here.
Well, he got fired, then they rehired him, so it's not like he left Marvel at all.
Well, it's bizarre because you think it would be in their contracts of you can't fucking work with Warner Brothers at all.
Yeah.
But no, it's very loosey goosey over there.
Yeah. Well, now fucking Scarlett Johansson, she's fucked. You do not sue the studio that made you fucking millions of dollars. That's stupid. She's asking for career suicide.
Well, think about it. What does she have to lose?
Well, she's done. She ain't gonna
She's
work
done
again.
with them.
Yeah.
Her character's done. She's
done.
I'm gonna get every penny on the way out. Fuck you guys. Bye.
But she has all the picks. She's made a bunch of money on it.
Well,
That's
it's
the
time to make some
thing.
more on her way out.
She's being a kind of a cunt.
I don't know. I didn't read her contract, so I can't really say. So
Well, I did. So
read her contract. All right, you guys ready for part 2?
oh
Yeah, buddy. Can we take like a 10-minute break between this one and the next one?
Oh yeah, your DoorDash
Like,
item.
pound some food. Yeah.
What'd you order?
My wife wanted Taco Bell, so we got Taco Bell.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's never it never ends well, but you're always like,
What's
Those
your
first 4 to 5 bites
go-to?
are incredible, and then you're
Right.
like, "Oh no, I made a bad choice."
Well,
you're like, I
everybody
hate my
has-
life, and then the next day you're like, I really hate my life.
Everybody has their go-to menu items though. Like, what's your number one choice for
So-
Taco Bell?
I used to be all about Crunchwrap Supremes.
Yeah,
that was my jam.
Yep.
Lately, I've been a big fan of the chalupas,
Mm.
and steak quesadilla.
Oh, okay.
I get chicken quesadilla.
Okay.
Chalupas are good. I get chicken though.
I do chalupa.
I don't
yeah.
like their steak, so I get chicken everything.
Yeah, I
It's
usually
all
get
right.
their
It's nothing
chicken, yeah.
special. It's better than their bullshit ground beef, though.
Yeah. Instead of ground beef, here's what I do. I got this when I was a vegetarian for like 6 years.
Oh god.
I will get the double decker taco,
Uh-huh.
and you get beans instead of beef, so it's a layer of beans, and then it's a soft shell inside.
Yeah, with the
A
beans.
hard
Yeah.
shell inside, beans in there.
That'd be
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It's so good.
All right.
Well, their meat isn't even really meat. I think it's just soy anyway.
But what I used to do is get the cheesy potato burrito and get beans in there too. But I don't think they have that anymore. I think they got rid of all their potato shit.
Well, it's funny.
Changing-
Taco Bell has 5 menu items, five ingredients, and they have 25 menu items with the same 5 ingredients. It's cheese, chicken, steak, lettuce, tomato, and that's it. And
Sour
maybe
cream.
cheese, sour cream. But I miss the KFC, the zingers, the twisters. It used to be just a chicken and a tortilla.
I fucking
put-
despise KFC.
No,
Oh, yeah.
these were good back in the day. These were
we got
really good.
we had Church's chicken today for lunch.
Oh,
I will take Church's over KFC any day of the
yeah.
year.
We don't have chickens anymore.
They closed.
We don't have them out here. We have Chicken Barn. which
KFC is
pretty
just
good.
so goddamn greasy. I just fucking hate myself
Yeah, it
after
is.
I eat it.
We have Broster's Chicken, which is like a restaurant style sort of. Restaurants have this brand of chicken, and it's called Broster's. It's pretty
Kenny
good.
Rogers chicken was pretty good.
That's really good.
We used to go to that a lot in LA. That was
Oh
good.
man, I miss that place so much.
We have Nashville hot chicken here now. Have you had that yet, Phoenix?
No.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Nashville. I'm not a big.
I know you don't like spicy food, so
No, I love spicy food.
no, I know you love it, but it doesn't love you. I should rephrase that.
We had sushi yesterday. It's not a shitting thing. It's just like I
No,
start.
it's
Like
yeah,
I
you
ran
start
my marathon.
sweating.
Like I'll put one tip of my and it was.
He'll have like a little like a little
have
bit of
heart
tapatio or
attack,
something, and like he's done for.
Are you having a stroke? I'm fine. It's just
my tongue.
spicy.
You see that shit gets
Yeah.
stuck in like
Oh yeah, that's all fucked up. What'd you do there,
You
bro?
got problems there.
that's the way it was when I was born. You know.
Oh, okay.
Fucking myth,
That's the
baby.
same thing.
It looks like you licked a bunch of razor blades.
You know, if I did, I sound like Nick Nolte if I did.
That's
Swallow
great.
gum. I did.
I can't get work. I can't work with Julia Roberts ever again.
All right,
Get out there, goddammit!
let's get into it.
Goddamn butt chips.
We are recording part 2. I have LIW John Carpenter review for some reason. Episode 21. Let me change the camera on there. Top 10 comedy films 5 through 1. I'm Phoenix West.
Dig it.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
Hi guys. We covered our bottom 5 of our top 10. How do I word it?
Bottom.
How do words work?
What are words? How was Babby born?
She sells seashells.
We came into that bottom like a crazed lunatic.
My number 6, I fought myself to get that in my top 5 because I wanted it there, but I just couldn't do it. But all right, here's our top 5. This is our cream of the crop here. We're going same order, I guess. Dick, what is your number 5?
So again, as a representation of an era.
Oh God.
So this is the 90s. And I would say in the 90s, there was a period of time.
Jansen, do you remember that list I asked you to put together? I'm like, hey, can you put your best representation of a comedy list together? Yeah. Okay.
What?
Of the 90s, to me, sort of an acclamation of all the good stuff of the 90s, is a movie called Greedy. 1994, Michael J. Fox, Kirk Douglas, Phil Hartman, Ed Begley Jr., it's Nancy Travis, who was in every early 90s movie ever made. She was like the number one go-to girl for a minute there.
It was her and Andy McDowell in
every comedy movie in the early 90s was them two. But it's like a simple story. It's Michael J. Fox is a bowler, which is funny. He's a bowler, and he comes from a wealthy family who's all waiting for this uncle to die because he has all the money, and it's Kirk Douglas. And he
lived another 25 years.
Another 40, 50 fucking years. Jesus Christ, he's like 103 when he died. And it's just it's a fun movie. I wouldn't say it's like an amazing, funny comedy. It's just one of those movies that make you feel good. It reminds you of it's like a nostalgic trip to the 90s. And it's a simple, funny movie with some really funny out loud moments. Kirk Douglas is funny. Michael J. Fox is just charming as ever. And it's just a fun, nice movie for a comedy. It's worth watching. I haven't
seen it in 20 years, but I've seen it a few times. And I remember good things about it, and I just haven't seen it lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen it lately either, but I would say I don't think you can find it. It's like one of those rare movies.
I've literally never seen it, and I mean, like I want to now that I look at it, but
it's worth watching. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
So it's a feel good comedy though.
Yeah, it's just a throwback. Very simple movie. Has a really nice ending to it. It's got a nice moral to it, and it's just a fun like I would say like What About Bob is a good also 90s comedy.
Yeah.
And Quick Change is another good one. Both Bill Murray movies that I like a lot. That would be on this in this part of that time. So
Phil Hartman is in it.
Phil Hartman's in it. Yeah,
we didn't mention that.
Yes.
It's my favorite movie from '94 that came out. My comedy is on my honorable mention list. Airheads.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen Airheads as much as you. I need to watch that one again.
I've seen that movie.
I think I've seen it once.
Yeah, I think I've seen it like halfway. I need to watch it. Yeah.
That's a Frank and I movie. We talk about that a lot. And and speaking of, that does have a certain actor in it.
That's true, Mr. Sandler, who has not made any of our lists yet.
Steve Buscemi's in there as well.
I'd rather watch Steve Buscemi over Adam Sandler
before he turned into an aged potato.
I guess that's where they met, huh? I forget that.
Yep.
Adam Sandler and Buscemi were in Airheads, and Buscemi's in every Adam Sandler movie. They must have hit it off or something in that movie.
But look at this poster for Greedy. This is how many people are in this movie that are well known. Like just fucking. Is that Richard Dreyfuss or is that Is that his brother?
That's his brother, Drewy Dreyfuss.
Okay, Begley. This kid from Everything back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see him, but
can't really.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but this kid was in fucking everything.
Olivia D'Abo, who's just so hot.
This guy who's in
he's in a bunch of stuff.
He was in Rebecca.
He was just in Justified.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
He played a bad guy in Justified, but he's a good.
He's like 60 and fucking shredded.
Yeah.
That guy in real life, he is shredded. He took his shirt off in Angie Tribeca. I'm like, God damn. He looks like Dennis Leary, but he's fucking ripped. I'm like, oh, you're 60. That's sad.
He's
with you.
by way of Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right,
God.
good choice. You are picking movies I haven't seen, or at least seen in 20 years if I have seen them.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to go for not your average comedy. Let's like bring up movies that people don't really talk about as much as they used to, or as they should.
Yeah, it's a lot of movies I want to watch. Like Greedy, I haven't seen in so long.
No.
Producers, I haven't seen ever. Rushmore, no. Caddyshack, Night at the Opera, I'm curious. I'm gonna get you, sucker. I want to watch again, or
No.
all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces, but
that's why this list was so hard to come up with, because I wanted to have
why now
different movies. You know,
what's your number 5, Jansen?
So as I go higher and higher, it gets more and more quotable. So these movies are really tied to my generation, not so much more things that I've seen in the past. I can't go decade by decade like Dick does. So my movie pick is Pineapple Express from 2008 with James Franco and Seth Rogen. I love this movie to death. I've seen it probably 60, 70 times, and I laugh uncontrollably every single time. It's so damn quotable. It's so damn stupid, and I just have a good time every time I watch it.
This is the first one on the list where it's definitely representation of your age.
Yeah, 100%.
Because other than that,
the rest of it is mostly representation of my age, with a little bit of stuff kind of thrown in between. But yeah,
I don't want to put your list down, but I watched Pineapple Express and I was like,
yeah. I mean, not everybody gets it, and it's not for everybody. I wholeheartedly understand it. It has a very pointed generational audience, right? And I think it hit me at the right time growing up, and I got a good kick out of it and had a lot of fun with it. Funny
because these guys are our age, not your age.
No, I know, but
it's kind of funny.
But the movie itself, the writing for it, I think was really directed towards the audience of the time, which I think was my age.
You got a lot of stoner comedies on your list without being a stoner.
I mean, so the funny part is these movies were funny to me because at the time I was a stoner. Okay. So I have a stoner history, right? Okay. It doesn't exist anymore, and it didn't end well, but a lot of these are from that era.
Is there a dead body on the side?
No. It's just it's more so that I found out that it doesn't agree with me as a person.
You have one lung.
No. Like just mentally, it's not good for me.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't have good reaction to it.
People have substance abuse issues, and I just don't understand it.
I understand.
As he pulls up a handle of Captain.
Oh, Pig with Nick Cage.
Oh, God, we got to talk about that soon. Okay,
we're on our way.
I did like the movie, though. I don't want to put it down. I just went not for me. I did like it, though.
Opinions are there for a reason, right? So it's not for everybody. I understand that, but I love it. I have a good time. I showed it to many people and always get a good laugh out of it. So,
well, kind of what we're doing is what's one scene that really sticks out to you?
It's probably towards the beginning of the movie, where they're sitting on the couch and they're talking about the new strain of weed that he's got. This shit is the sickest shit I've ever smoked. And he's like the most quotable lines of that. He's like, you mix that shit with this shit, and those two come together, and then this shit with that shit, those babies fucked. This is the product, the baby fucking. And I don't know. It just got me at a time where I'm like, oh, this is so stupid. It's funny.
Yeah. It's a joke that you could see them sitting around a table smoking and just add that in.
Well, and I for sure know that these guys were fucking baked out of their minds during the entire shooting of all this. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is ad-libbed, but yeah, you could just tell they were having a fun time throughout this entire movie because the reality of it, the subplot of the movie is so ridiculous, and just the comedic value that they add to it. Like James Franco and Seth Rogen obviously have this great chemistry, but then you throw Danny McBride in there, and he's so over the top and ridiculous. Just gets me every time. But you have Gary Cole's in it, and he's in a few of these movies that I picked. Office Space, right? So I love actors like that just show up and you're just like, oh shit, this guy's in. This is gonna be good.
Stephen Root is a guy. When I see him, I'm like, I'm gonna have a good time. Even if it's a serious movie, I'm still gonna love it because I love Stephen Root.
Yep,
he's one of those guys. Okay, yeah, I noticed none of us have a Kevin Smith movie yet. Weird.
Kevin Smith.
Not happening.
Not going to happen.
Weird, right? I just know for some reason I was thinking about that because I was thinking of all those movies you were talking about.
Well, I think Kevin Smith is a person who you like as a certain type of kid, like growing up, like if you were like a teen or like late 18 to 20, sure. But then you turn 24, 25, and you start to have a brain, and your brain says, yeah, it's not that funny. It's okay.
Well, I think he's funny, and I think he's a really sweet person. He's just made too many incorrect statements lately where he's trying to hide stuff.
Well, he fucked up with
deep on that.
He fucked up with He-Man. He's done there.
Even beyond that, before that,
fucked up bad with that.
He had a thing with Adam Carolla where Adam Carolla does not lie. I firmly believe that. Like, he has no reason to lie. And he's like, this is what happened. This is what Kevin did. And Kevin's like, no, that's not what happened. I'm like, sorry, I love you, Kevin, but I'm going to go with Adam here because Adam has zero reason to lie. And it's like all that little stuff starts to add up. And Kevin Smith is a sweetheart. Like, he wears his heart on his sleeve. And I don't want to watch any more of his movies.
Like,
no, thank you, sir.
I can't honestly say that I've ever sat through a full Kevin Smith movie.
They're so good. Dogma's on my honorable mention list. I do love that movie.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy, I think, is a good movie. Even if you can't buy the fact that a lesbian would fall in love with Ben Affleck, but
no, it's a science fiction movie.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's coming from Kevin Smith.
Yeah, that's what I'm quoting you.
Yeah, that's great. He has. I will say, Kevin Smith. If you're not into his movies, watch his Q&As with colleges.
Oh yeah,
fucking hilarious.
No, An Evening with Kevin Smith is his best movie.
It is borderline stand-up, and he's just telling stories.
When he goes, when he's with Jason Mewes, and if somebody says, "Get the cock out of your mouth," I love the cock in my mouth, and shut your face. And he goes, "Holy shit!" And Kevin Smith looks at Jason Mewes and goes, "You just got unleashed there for a minute. Stick a fucking cock in your mouth and shut your face."
It's great. It's stuff. You should check that out, Jansen.
Yeah, even with Kevin Smith is his greatest.
The most Kevin Smith I've ever been subjected to is like an interview with Joe Rogan, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's if you don't care about his movies, that's fine. Nobody will force you to, but check out his Evening with Kevin Smith, the first one. The second one,
add it to the list.
His Superman story and his Prince story are legendary.
The Prince story is fucking incredible.
Like legendary.
It goes on for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's enthralling the whole way through. Okay. But he also did Too Fat for 40, where he's like, all right, I'm going to answer really quick questions. Not one, and that's it. We're going to one after another. He answers one question for an hour and a half. About Bruce Willis.
That sounds right.
All right. What do we got? My number 4, right?
Number 5. You're number 5.
My number 5 is already covered.
Yep. Nice.
Oh, okay. Good job.
My number 5 is Office Space, so we can move on. So
very good.
Glad we agree.
Pick up a little speed here.
I just changed my number 4.
Oh God! Why
I just thought of something. And again, representation of a modern day comedy. Because I had another one on there, and I think this is a better one. Hot Tub Time Machine. I think it's one of the funniest movies of the last 15 years.
I've never seen it, and
I think because I didn't think that movie was going to be anything, and I didn't want to watch it because all the reviews and people say this movie's great, man. You go see it. I was like, I don't care. It sounds stupid. Chevy Chase is in it. I don't care. Didn't see it until the last week it was in theaters, and I went and saw it with friends. And I laughed the whole time. The movie is just fucking funny. It's a funny movie.
I feel like I remember that movie fondly and thinking that I liked it, but it doesn't bring up any actual memories for me of enjoyment. So I've seen it the one time, and I don't know. I don't know. I hear where you're coming from, but man, I don't know.
The sequel is fucking garbage.
Is it? That's kind of to be expected.
Awful.
I feel like that's kind of one of those one-off movies. You get one chance to make this really funny. A sequel doesn't cut it.
It's a time travel movie.
The first one has a 6.4. The second one has a 5.1.
Yeah, the second one's terrible.
There you go.
The first one is it's funny, and it's got the more you think Lugal at the end where he changes the history, and because he stays in the past, so they go back in the. Oh no, it's funny. And Crispin Glover's in it, and Crispin Glover doesn't have an.
It.
Yeah, but he's actually not awful. because Clark Duke's in it, and Clark Duke has a good chemistry, good chemistry with Chevy Chase because he says like Chevy Chase always calls him Madam. He always calls Clark Duke's Madam or Miss, and he goes, "I'm a man. What are you talking about?" Yeah, that's right, girl.
Lizzie Kaplan's in it. Maybe I'll watch.
Oh, she's cute. She's a cutie in this one. It's a funny movie. It's about. I think the reason why Jansen didn't like it. It's about aging, and it's about like you missed your window of opportunity.
Yeah, when did that come out? What, like
2010,
10? Yeah, and I was like, I just graduated high school. Like, I didn't
exactly. I was 2010. I was living in LA trying to make it as anything, and you're just beaten down by life, and you see Hot Tub Time Machine, and you're like, hey, I want to kill myself too. Let's make a comedy out of it.
Oh man!
But yeah, it's worth watching. Why I'd say watch it again? It's funny.
Okay,
it's a funny movie. It's very funny, and I just thought of it right now to bring it up because we're not, and it's John Cusack because I would put High Fidelity on my top 10, but
I almost did.
It is an High Fidelity,
mention.
Yeah.
I almost did. Gross Point Blank are on my
Gross Point Blank too. Those two movies. This is the John Cusack representation. This is my John Cusack.
Well, I think before our top three, I'm going to read off my honorable mention list in whole and just.
Okay, yeah.
And we've already talked about a lot of them, but
yeah.
Okay, I have never seen it, so I can't comment. It looks like it would be funnier than I think it would, like MacGruber. Like MacGruber, I was like, fucking fine, I'll watch it. And I laughed the whole way through.
Yeah.
And I was like in tears for some part.
I couldn't do it.
I don't know why I thought it was so funny. And I watched it 7 or 8 times now, and I laugh. Adam fucking hated it. That's why I was going to bring it up on my list just to fuck with him, but go and die on it. So
interesting.
Yeah, definitely check out MacGruber. It's fun. Way more fun than the stupid spots on SNL were.
You're keeping a running list of the things we talk about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm taking a list of our movies, not anything we mentioned.
Oh. Well, shit.
I could put MacGruber on my honorable mention list.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to see your honorable mention list because I'm sure there's some good shit on there.
All right. So good number 4, because none of us are going to have that.
That's what I figured.
The sequel looked fucking garbage.
The sequel's terrible. It's awful. It's awful.
It's just a movie that slipped by me for some reason. And I love John Cusack.
Yeah, and believe it,
he's great.
Like I said, I didn't want to see this movie when it first came out. I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to see it. But then I was like, fine. I got browbeaten to go see it, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And maybe that's why I like it, because I had such low expectations that it actually came out real good. So now that I told you that it's really funny and likable, you're probably going to hate it.
Well, no, I'm going to like it. But Lizzie Kaplan's in my top 5 crushes. So
Lizzie Kaplan's cute as shit in this movie.
Yeah, she's great. And she's funny too.
She's funny, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, Jansen, what is your number 4?
So number 4 is my representation of Mel Brooks. It was the first Mel Brooks movie I ever saw with my dad. And it's Blazing Saddles. I love Blazing Saddles. You can't do this movie ever again. And it is just the quintessential ridiculous jokes that just don't get anywhere these days. So I think it's hilarious. And the little pieces of Mel Brooks and every part of it is a crack up. So I love the cast. Gene Wilder holds a special place in my heart. So I love this movie a lot. I get big laughs every time I watch it.
I don't think the world realizes what it lost with Gene Wilder.
Oh my God, so much. You know what's funny? We were watching that show on NBC with
Law and Order.
No, it's the 2 gay guys and the girl. Will and Grace.
Girl and pizza. Oh.
It's Will and Grace, and Gene Wilder has cameos throughout it as Will's boss, and every fucking scene is hilarious because he's playing like this old senile dude that just wants to get loved, and like it is pure comedic gold, and I love it. Gene Wilder is a treasure.
His approach to comedy is top 3, where it's don't approach it like you're doing a comedy. don't approach it like anything. I don't know what,
Sure.
I don't know what it was. He just showed up and said lines in the most dramatic way, and that's what made him funny.
Right. He's just delivering exactly what you wrote on the paper, and with like complete serious like effort. Like just like he would deliver any type of dramatic line. You know what I mean?
How do you make the character of Willy Wonka? How do you make me feel for him in certain scenes? It's fucking incredible.
100%.
Johnny Depp couldn't even come close to that.
No. Oh, you know what's funny is my wife had never seen the original Willy Wonka, and, and we watched it for the first time like a few weeks ago. I was like, this is my childhood. Like this is the good shit right here, and she loved it. But I was like, that Johnny Depp shit doesn't hold a candle.
Willy Wonka, the original, that would be an honorable mention because that's pretty much a comedy too.
100%.
It's not on my honorable mention, but it definitely is up there.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's as funny as it is good. Which is weird.
Yeah, well, it's. Did you ever watch the Red Letter Media discussion on Willy Wonka? It's very interesting with how they break it down.
Yeah,
Grandpa Joe is the villain of the piece.
Yeah.
Well, what I still don't get about the whole thing, there's two things that bother me. So one is the fact that everybody except for the family that we're following is an Englishman.
Yeah.
And the fact that Grandpa Joe's such an old piece of shit that the only thing that gets him up is the fact that he gets to go tour a chocolate factory, but he hasn't worked for 20 years.
It's disability fraud. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
That's what that is.
He's in a weird kinky 4-way sex with the other grandparents.
Right.
With his son's spouse's parents as well.
Yeah.
They got a weird footsie thing going on.
And then his mother has a song about how dreams don't come true.
I straight up skip that song every fucking time.
Everyone does.
It's bad.
Yes, absolutely. You skip that song.
They need to have a feature, like, you know how when you watch Netflix, like 5 episodes in a row, it's like skip intro?
Skip song. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the auto thing where you have to click the button to cancel, otherwise it's going to skip it.
Right.
That's what it needs. Yeah, that song. Anyway, Blazing Saddles. So we're not even talking about Willy Wonka.
No, it's okay.
Well, Gene Wilder. He's great.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder.
I've only seen that movie twice, but it was
between that and Young Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And I had to pick this, I think, because it was the first one that I saw, and it holds a special place for me.
I saw Young Frankenstein first, so it's
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
If you want to pronounce it that way.
Roll in the hay.
Wasn't your lump? No. Oh, okay.
Marty Feldman is great. All right, we're still not talking about Blazing Saddles. Okay, so Blazing Saddles. I can't really speak to a whole lot. Jansen, what do you love so much about that, other than that was the first one you watched? What
my favorite scene is how they build the town out of nothing for this like battle scene, and it just. It's breaking the fourth wall without doing it, and like it's kind of ahead of its time, and it's Mel Brooks playing these random parts like the Indian chief, and I don't know, the whole thing just has so many like little pieces of value throughout the whole thing that I think go missed or could go missed, right? Just like the whole like random jokes of like, oh, the lights go out and she says, oh, it is true what they say. Like it's ridiculous, but and you can't get away with it anymore. So it holds a special place because it can't be done again.
Yeah, people like to say that, and I mean, Dick even said it earlier, like you can't do comedy. Like you can, it just might not be as successful.
It's not going to be successful, period.
It's going to take a while to get that cult status, but people will watch it. And I don't know how successful Blazing Saddle was.
Who knows? I mean, obviously it has
a big movie. Yeah, I think it did very well.
Box office wise,
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, good. I think
Mel Brooks at his height was actually quite successful.
Yeah, this is definitely way better than a lot of his movies are, because at this time, what's that?
So the budget for the movie was
the World Part 1.
So the movie budget was 2.6.
Yeah.
And it grossed 119.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's $70. So
yeah,
that means $500 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean it's 2.6 mil, 119 mil.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh yeah. So I mean it's
I'm going. Yeah.
Is that adjusted or no?
No, it's not adjusted.
It's straight from IMDb. I don't know.
Straight, IMDb just has the original. So $119 million $70. I mean, so that's probably $500, $600 million.
It's still fucking great, but
yeah.
When I think of Mel Brooks, my first memories are Robin Hood Men in Tights first Spaceballs and then Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Spaceballs, yeah.
Those are my two big movies with him.
And that's another honorable mention.
I showed Kelly Robin Hood Men in Tights. She fell asleep. And I'm over here just laughing my ass off.
But that's not I wouldn't say it's a good movie.
No, and I don't think it's a good intro into that realm either.
Well, here's the difference. Spaceballs was $22 million budget, only grossed $38 million.
Oof.
They were trying so hard to bank on that Star Wars money.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was like 4 years later.
Yep, but theirs is still going.
Is that on me?
Hold up, Kelly.
Thanks.
Hold up, Kelly to the camera. Hey, ask her what she thought about Blazing Saddles.
Have I shown her that? Did I say that? I can't remember if I have shown her that. I think I have. I don't know.
She's already gone. Too late.
She's already gone.
You did too many back and forths.
Well, here's another one. Young Frankenstein, $2 million budget, made $86 million worldwide.
Yeah,
1974. That's pretty good. That's a big number.
Young Frankenstein is definitely on my honorable mention list. You will hear that in a moment. But first, let's get my number 4 out of the way, and then we'll do honorable mention. My number 4 is gonna be Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
Shaun of the Dead.
I almost put it, and it got replaced like last minute.
By what?
You can't know that yet.
But it should fall out the number 10, not the number 4 slot.
No, it was more of a like I didn't think of it at the time type of deal. I'm like, oh, that's gonna get pulled and that's gonna get put type of deal for me personally, just because of how many times I had seen this particular movie and how much like weight it holds for me.
I've seen Shaun of the Dead 30 times, like truly.
I would say I've seen it multiple times. Yeah,
and I don't get sick of it. I fucking absolutely love this movie. Dick and I were there at what turned out to be the American world premiere. We had no idea.
No idea.
Directly across the street from our school. We just walked over there to the ArcLight, and we're like, all right, there's a lot of zombies here. What the fuck's going on? It's this movie we've never heard of. And I started asking people, I'm like, what's going on? Like, why are you dressed up as zombies? And the guy's like, it's Shaun of the Dead. It's an English movie.
Dumbass.
Yeah, we had no idea what the hell this movie was.
Yes.
And who would have thought it would be the introduction? Because I hadn't seen Spaced, and I've since seen Spaced. Spaced is great.
Yeah,
Spaced is wonderful, and I had never seen that, so I didn't know who Edgar Wright was. This was this movie that introduced us to Edgar Wright, and the world has been a wonderful place ever since.
We went back to Remco's apartment and we looked it up on his laptop. We're like, what the fuck is Shaun of the Dead? And we looked it up and like, all right, that looks interesting. Because the trailer doesn't really tell you what the movie's going to be like. This is back before the give everything away trailers.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck it. And I got a ticket and we all went. And then I couldn't believe what I was watching because I'm like, everything they set up in the first half is exactly what happens in the second. It's like this. It's like they held a mirror up to the first half of the script and they went, that has to pay off. How's this going to pay off? Jansen, it sounded like you want to ask for 10 minutes off. Now you're just garfing your.
I was gonna, but then I got here. I'm like, I'm just gonna eat in between talking.
Yeah, you have another 10-minute break to have it all come out of your asshole.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I really truly do love Shaun of the Dead though. It just for me, it's more of an honorable mention. It doesn't hold as special of a place in my heart as some of these other movies, but 100% agree with you.
Well, I think Dick knows it's not the only one on my list.
I know.
And we're at number 4, so.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about it right now.
Oh, no.
On my number 4.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, you already did your number 4, so it'll be number
3.
What
was my number 4?
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh, well, I thought that was number 5. Oh.
No, for some goddamn reason.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. No, number 3. My number 3 is Hot Fuzz.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. It was the first movie I watched that the British, because at this point I had not seen the British Office. I had not seen most of the Monty Python and shit like that. I really had no frame of reference for British humor. So I watched this and I go, is this what Britain is doing? Because holy shit, it's far superior than what we're doing over here.
Yeah.
See, I had the fortunate piece that my dad grew up loving Monty Python shit. So I got to see that before I saw Shaun of the Dead. And I
grew up on Monty Python, but I don't think it's that funny.
Oh, really?
It's funny. The movies are funny. The show, very hit or miss.
I like the show.
I don't disagree with that. I've watched some boring episodes of the show, but the movies obviously are.
Yeah, movies are great.
Cool classics.
When Monty Python has the old ladies society reenacting the Battle of Pearl Harbor, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Well, there are some Monty Python movies on my honorable mention list.
Yeah, mine too.
Now that we're done with our top 4, we're doing our top 3 here. Let me get my honorable mention list out of the way. I got Raising Arizona, Groundhog Day, The Burbs, Fargo, Airheads. I just added MacGruber because we're talking about it. Dogma, American Psycho. I really tried to make it on my list because I think the movie's hilarious for what it is, but I couldn't. Grosse Point Blank, High Fidelity, Clue, Clueless.
Wow,
I love that movie. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, The Gentleman, An American Werewolf from London, which I couldn't believe didn't make my top 10.
Yeah,
Wayne's World, Dirty Work. I love that movie. Life of Brian, Monty Python, and the Holy Grail, Young Frankenstein, Airplane, Ed Wood, which I don't know how that name in my top 10.
Yeah, Ed Wood is more. I put in the biopic category. I don't know.
Well, it's still a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
that was part that I have my top 10. Tommy Boy, Being John Malkovich, the first half of Idiocracy, and then What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, well, all good. Very good choices.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters 2.
I do love Ghostbusters 2, but
honorable mention.
I don't laugh that much during it.
I do laugh. I quote Ghostbusters 2 just as much as I quote Ghostbusters 1 sometimes. Hairless pets. Weird.
Well, let's talk about...
I'm a voter. Aren't you supposed to lie to me and kiss my butt?
All right. What you said your number 3, Dick, is...
Hot Fuzz.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, you're good. It's part 2 of the Shaun of the Dead Cornetto trilogy.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Hot Fuzz is an awesome Edgar Wright movie. I like it more than Shaun of the Dead. I like Shaun of the Dead. I like Shaun of the Dead. I like At the World's End, but I think Hot Fuzz is the most complete movie of the Cornetto trilogy, and I think it's the height of all of their powers because it works so well. It's so funny, and it's not based on a previous genre. Like Shaun of the Dead is easy to sort of be a satire of zombie movies, but Hot Fuzz, who does a satire of a crime movie, of a British crime movie? Really,
it's a buddy cop movie, right?
Yeah, like a buddy cop movie, like Point Break.
A British murder mystery with a Bad Boy style buddy cop. Lethal Weapon buddy cop. It's perfect.
It's a perfect comedy. It's wonderful.
It is. I will talk about my opinions a little bit later on in the show for some reason.
Oh, so is it number 2 on your list?
I won't get into why.
Because we're running out of time here. Maybe it's number 3.
Right, so your number 3 is Hot Fuzz. That's a great number 3. Do you want to take a second here, Jansen?
To what?
Your number 3?
I'm ready to go.
All right. What's your number 3?
Step Brothers.
Wow, that's.
I know I'm going to catch flack for that.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
I will say
one of the most quotable movies to me. Go ahead.
Step Brothers is fucking hilarious.
It is a funny movie. Hilarious. It is funny.
It's fucking hilarious, and that era of comedy for me is just, Step Brothers and Talladega Nights and all that bullshit those two did. It cracks me up every single time.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
The nutsack and the drum.
You lick that white dog shit. It just, I don't know. It's got everything for me. And
Richard Jenkins again.
Richard Jenkins again.
Yeah.
Adam Scott as his brother. That scene of them in the
You want to hit me, don't you? You want to punch me in the face.
My favorite part of that is it sets you up to feel that way though too. Them driving in the car singing that song, the way they're looking at each other and saying I just want to punch that motherfucker in the face. And then, sure enough, we get to
flat.
punch that
You're
motherfucker
flat.
in the face.
You're flat. Here it comes. Save the show.
Yeah.
The second thing are Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I will say, out of all of those movies that those guys ever did together, that is my favorite. I think it for some reason ends up having more heart than all of them combined. I don't like Talladega Nights. I just do not like it. I've seen it once. I've never seen
Talladega Nights is all right for me too. This movie truly does have the heart.
It's Will Ferrell doing his George Bush impression. I don't want to watch it again.
I can't stand. I am not a Ron Burgundy Anchorman fan. I've never cared for those movies.
I thought they were funny, but they're not my shtick. This movie, like those two, just head to head through the whole movie, just fucking phenomenal.
Oh, speaking of that,
great.
John C. Reilly, another honorable mention movie, Cyrus.
I don't think I've seen that.
I've never seen that.
It's a Duplass movie where Jonah Hill is Marissa Tomei's son, and John C. Reilly's going out with Marissa. It's fucking funny. There's a lot of funny shit. Yeah,
the trailer,
it's good. It's funny. Yeah,
it's a problem with its own trailer. The trailer made it look bad, but I hear it's good. Everyone I respect, like Tom
it's funny. Yeah,
I love the fact that even in throughout this entire movie for Step Brothers, it's like even the non like top billed actors are having like these ridiculously funny moments, like Catherine Hahn when she's standing at the door, she's like, I just want to roll you up into a ball and shove you right up into my vagina. So your little curly hair tingling all over me.
Like, Catherine Hahn is sexy to me. I don't know why,
but she's so ridiculous.
She's hot. She's got a weird hotness to her.
Mm-hmm, I love 100%. Her aloofness in The Visitor.
The
Visit. That's
the Visit. Yeah,
okay. M. Night movie. She's in
That's not Grandma and Grandpa.
Who are they?
Who are they? Oh my God! Twist.
Yeah, but she's great in that movie, and Mary Steenburgen is great. Her and Richard Jenkins together, just some reason work. I don't know why.
No,
yeah, it's good shit.
Back to Cyrus. The best part is a visual gag where John C. Reilly falls asleep on the couch, and he wakes up and he sees Jonah Hill in his underwear with a butcher knife, and he's like scared shitless. He goes, "Hey, you want a brownie?" He's cutting brownies. It's so fucking fun. It's just like such a random. It's funny. Cyrus I haven't seen it in a long time, but when I remember it, it's a fucking funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate Jeff Who Lives at Home. And the same guys make that movie, but
yeah,
I watched it. It was all right.
Jeff Who Lives at Home sucks.
There's 5% of that movie I really loved. Everything else, though, I despised.
Well, you ever see Baghead? That was another one of their movies. Ooh. Baghead's not bad. Greta Gerwig is one of her first movies. It's kind of funny. It's mumblecore. That they created the mumblecore genre, which is like it's hipster comedy basically.
I have no problem with the genre. But I don't want pretentiousness.
Yeah,
it's like Zach Braff leaked over in the Duplass brothers, who I like. I like Mark Duplass, and I like the other one. What's his name? Was it Jake?
I think so. Yeah.
I like them. They're funny, but a lot of their movies they get too full themselves and they overwrite.
Yeah,
and just kind of ruins it. Anyway, Step Brothers, good choice. It is goddamn hilarious, that movie. You can't not watch that movie and have a good time.
100%.
It's fun. Even if you hate it, you're still gonna laugh at some point.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah,
fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, Rob. What's his name? I can never think of his. Rob Riggle.
My favorite scene is John C. Reilly talking to his dad in the kitchen. He's like, "Picture this, Dad. I come down. I got a luscious V from my chest pubes down to my ball throw. Nancy takes a little one look at me and she goes, "Damn, I've had the old bull, but now I want the young calf." She grabs me by the wiener.
The one farmer goes,
"Fuck up, Dal."
Dad, I love you. I respect you, but fuck you.
You can't not quote Step Brothers without the whole so many more room for activities.
Yeah.
Why did we do this? Hey, I never asked you to like guacamole.
Oh God.
That's great. It's the ball sack on the drum kit is all I need to think about.
Put my nut sack on your drum set.
Because they show it. They show a little rubber.
Yeah.
Little rubber balls.
All right.
All right. Done eating. Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. My number 3 will not surprise anyone if you've ever watched any of my shows.
Oh wow, it's that low. I thought it was going to be number one. I'm shocked.
Number 3.
I'm shocked. I thought it'd be number one.
All right.
You know what my top 2 are then?
Yeah, pretty much. Now I do.
Yeah. It's Ghostbusters is my first favorite movie. So much so that my dad, who I don't talk to, one of the last things we talked about was he goes, "You know, Mom, you drove me crazy watching Ghostbusters." I was like, "Good." I don't give a shit. I still watch it all the time. I don't give it. I have it on 4K now, and I watch it, and I have it on Blu-ray as well because I might burn that copy out.
I love you, I respect you, but fuck you.
Yeah. This is back on VHS days where you would burn out a copy. And you had to rebuy it and then burn that. Like you can only watch a VHS like 30, 40 times.
Yeah.
As a kid, you just sit there.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And I've seen this movie. As an adult, I only watch it once every 2 years, I'd say. I don't want to burn it out as an adult because you can't get over that.
It's a yearly movie for me. I'd watch it once a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I saw it in the theater. I got to see it in the theater on the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, I saw it too.
That was great. I was crying. like, oh, this is great.
I made it.
Well, yeah, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, clearly, I still got Ghostbuster shit everywhere, and it means more to me than the 2 movies above on my list. But it's not as funny as those 2 movies are to me. But Bill Murray makes this movie. Everyone else, him and Harold Ramis make this movie for me. They've always been my 2 favorite Ghostbusters. Dan Aykroyd is my least favorite Ghostbuster.
Dan Aykroyd's such a fucking weirdo, dude.
I'll take Winston Zeddemore over Ray Stantz any day of the week.
Oh, I think Winston's great.
He's great.
He's the one. He's got one of the best lines in the movie. That's a big Twinkie. He really, he does have some of the best lines in Ghostbusters. Winston Zeddemore, he really does.
And I've liked more of his movies than I have Dan Aykroyd's. Like,
absolutely,
The Crow's into my top 10 as well.
Yeah, Ernie Hudson is in some good fucking movies.
Yeah,
fucking Crow.
Crow's awesome. I love Crow.
Jansen hates The Crow. I get it, but whatever.
Do you really don't like The Crow, Jansen?
Yeah, we've had this.
Really? Oh my God, get him off the show.
Every time he mentions The Crow, I include him.
I still have yet to watch it again since we've discussed it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if my feelings have changed. And like I said before, the first time I watched it, I was pretty young and like maybe I just didn't get it.
Well,
so I'll give it.
I have a gift for you: 46 hours of pain. I don't want it anymore.
It's not like an amazing movie. It's
a good, solid movie.
It's a good, solid movie, and I love the comic. So,
well, I like a good revenge flick movie. I'm a sucker for revenge movies, and that's like top 5 revenge movie for me. It's
in that case, if you're on the live stream, check out the next episode called Pig by Nick.
I thought
also known as Hillbilly John Wick.
I thought it was going to go John Wick style. So
I thought it was, dude. I was surprised.
Hold on. Okay, so that's my number 3, Ghostbusters. Okay. It is weird 2. That it is so low, right?
I'm shocked. I thought it would be at least number 1. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a better movie, like as far as history is going to view it. But to me, it's not as funny as these top 2 for me. Which knows exactly what my top 2 are now.
Yeah, so, because my number 2 is probably going to be your number 2 or at least number 1.
So let's just get to your number 2.
Mr. Lebowski. The Big Lebowski, number 2 for me.
Should we just have an open discussion? Because that's my number 2 as well.
My number 2 as well.
Oh, hey!
Nice. We all agree on something.
Wait a minute.
Pause. And someone did artwork with Tarantino and Coen Brothers stuff.
Yeah, there's Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction.
I saved it for a reason. You even got the
No Country for Old Men
here in the top right or the bottom right.
Yeah.
You got the missing toe here. You want a toe? Get your toe in half an hour.
Forget about the fucking toe. Sir, can you call? Dear.
Hold on. Is your number 2 really Big Lebowski, Jansen?
Yeah.
Wow. All of our number 2s.
Rug really tied the room together, bro.
Adam would not be happy. Adam would have had some Richard Stanley movie be his number 2.
This takes care of all of our number 2s.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We've had None in common.
Well, I mean, this you can't. I mean, this movie's just fucking gold, man.
It's been talked to death.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one question? And because I asked everyone this when I talk about Big Lebowski. The first time you watched it, how did you feel about it?
I think I
was
immediately
confused.
took to it.
I was confused by it the first time I watched it, right? Because I didn't know what to expect. It was like
Janson's left shoulder. You get the dude right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's right there. But yeah, I was confused by it the first time I watched it, and then I mean, obviously, like I still enjoyed it, but then the second time I was just, okay, I get it. This is funny. Like, there's some really funny shit happening here, and like the cast was underwhelming to me at first because I didn't like put two and two together with who was doing this type of shit. Like, I didn't know who Jeff Bridges was when I first saw this. I didn't know who Steve Buscemi was when I first watched this. Because it was like I was like really young when I first saw it. But like I knew who like John Goodman was. So I was like, oh, this could be good. But then I started seeing like other things these people were in and then realizing, oh, this is like out of character for some of them and like not totally what they're all about. So like this is really special. Philip Seymour Hoffman, like I know he's done some wacky shit, but this is different for him too. So I think that's my piece.
I'll suck your cock for $1,000.
Mr. Lebowski has to be going now.
Brett can watch. He has to pay $100.
Let me go find a cash machine.
Pilar.
Okay, so the first time I watched Big Lebowski was when it came out, like right when it came out, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" I already knew who the Coen Brothers were. I love them. I knew who everyone in the movie was.
I was 7.
I just didn't understand. No, I'm not saying you shouldn't know.
No. You're fine.
By that time, I already knew who everyone was. Like I watched Roseanne. I love John Goodman. I still do.
Yeah, me too.
And so I'm watching. I'm like, I love everyone in this movie, but what the fuck is it? And then second time I watched it, I was like, I'll force myself to watch it again. And I was like, oh, I like the story. And then the third time it clicked. The story doesn't fucking matter.
Mm-mm.
It's just a character movie. And you watch the characters drift from one scene to the next. And I go, and then I've watched it fucking every 3 months since then.
Yeah.
20 some years.
I think in film school, we watched it every night for like 3 months straight, I think.
Well, it sucks because you look like John Goodman in that movie. Perry looked exactly like the dude because he was a hippie and he had a robe. And so I got defaulted to fucking Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Talking in the movie. I'm like, that doesn't really fit me at all, but I guess I'll be him.
You just go like this.
Big and I love the inside joke of the previous movie they all did together was Fargo, and Steve Buscemi didn't shut the fuck up. So all they told him was shut the fuck up, Donnie. One of the greatest inside jokes in movie history.
That's
well, I guess for this movie, it's the only time the Coen brothers have ever gave a candid, like interesting interview, and it was to a rug magazine as a joke. Like if you can find, they say like if you can find the interview in this magazine, it's like Rugs Digest. It's not even a movie magazine, and they had an interview with him because of the rug in the movie. And I guess somebody said it's the most intense that they ever get in an interview because they're talking about they open up about things, and they've never done that since or before in an interview. It's hilarious. All for a fucking rug
floor covering weekly interview.
Floor covering weekly interview. Yeah. Hilarious. But this movie is just it's just gold. And if you don't get it, I don't know what I can't help you. It's like I can't explain why it's so great.
Well, I think what we've proven here though too is that like we didn't like at least Phoenix and I didn't get it the first time, right? So it may be, it's a slow burn for some people to understand type of comedy and this type of enjoyment in a film that just doesn't have a image anywhere else in the industry. Like nothing else is really like this.
No,
I think it's a testament to the writing where it's not a movie you can watch and just go, I got it. It's okay. Like it's good or it's bad. I went, what did I, and it made me want to watch it again because I've always loved Raising Arizona and Hudsucker Proxy from the Coen brothers from childhood. And I was like, I fucking love those movies. And Fargo just came out though. So I wasn't really that familiar with it. But I was like, I'm missing something here. So I went back and rewatched it. And I'm like, all right, I got a little more. And then finally the puzzle pieces finally clicked. I'm like, oh, the story doesn't matter.
Right. Well, for me, it's kind of like Like the closest thing that I can equate it to is like a Fear and Loathing. Like there's this drug driven, like kind of randomness to it. And there's no sense in trying to follow it. It's just trying to, you just need to sit in it and enjoy it.
That's the thing. It is a structured story. The script is very structured because everything is called back. They repeat the lines from the scene prior in the different context, but in the joke, like the part where she goes, a man has problems saying vagina, and where he won't bat an eye when he says Dick or Rod or Johnson, and then the boss she goes Johnson, and then it comes back. You mean coitus? All these, it all comes back. It's all full circle stuff, and even the music is full circle, which I didn't realize until recently. I was watching it again. I was like, oh shit! The song after they leave Larry Seller's house is the song's playing is Mia Como Va Pilar, which was the name of the maid was Pilar. Yeah. So I was like, oh, I never made that connection that the song is. The reason why that song is picked for that scene, because I thought it was an odd choice. It's referring to Pilar, who they just spoke to in the previous scene.
The kid who fucked up his homework, and his dad wrote for Brannick.
And yet his son's a fucking dunce.
My absolute favorite line in the movie is such a throwaway line. It's just John Goodman sitting there. They're all sitting there, and the dude is watching his landlord do his little play.
The what have you?
They're talking about In and Out.
Yeah,
it's by, but he's like, we'll go there once we're done with the what have you.
What have you?
The way he says that line.
I think the delivery of any line by John Goodman is just something to behold. Like even his work on Community, you're just like, God, that's John Goodman, and he's just so good, and I love it.
John Goodman's in Community?
He plays one of the principals of the other school.
Have you not finished that?
No, I finished it. I just don't remember him being on there.
He plays the AC repairman school head.
Yeah.
Damn it! Why don't I remember that?
I don't know. It's kind of a sub story that doesn't really get much traction. It's before Troy leaves, anyways.
Yeah,
but the second best line is the ending where John Goodman and Big and Lebowski are at the funeral home, and they're getting Donnie's stuff situated. They go, that's $180. That is their most moderately precious subject. Goes $180, and he goes, just because we're bereaved doesn't make us saps. And he gets so pissed off. And then there's that scene where he just all of a sudden it's a shot of them just looking at the guy, and John Goodman is so pissed off, like it's just pure hate. And he's just, and then the next scene is, God damn it! He just screams, God damn it! Is there a Ralph's around here? It's so perfect. It's fucking perfect.
We used to watch, Jansen, we used to put this movie on and just watch the John Goodman scenes and just fast forward to the next and then restart the movie and just go, all right. And just watch, because it was so goddamn funny. And this was way after the movie came out, so it wasn't like it was just brand new. Yeah.
What's 2004? 2003, 2004 when we were watching it. Just because we're after the saps.
Shower.
Number one.
Stop
number
being
ones
Jewish.
Are next.
We're not done with number 2.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish as fucking Tevye.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Adam, you're wrong about this movie. I think you just need to watch it with an open mind and a fresh slate just a couple more times. You would have loved it.
He's got plenty of time to watch it now.
What's your number 1 there, Dick?
Oh, we're going there already?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's right, because we both were dwelling the same number 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Back to School.
Another Dangerfield movie.
Ronnie, I think, because this is quintessential Ronnie Dangerfield of its time. Again, a Harold Ramis movie. Who Harold Ramis fixed the script. He made it what it is. The direction's spot on. All of the movie is hilarious. It's funny. It still holds true to this day. You have a shot of titties in a PG movie for no reason, and he makes a joke out of it because he thinks he's looking for his son, so he's in the sorority, not a fraternity, and he goes, "Hey, Jason!" He opens the shower and goes, "Oh!" And the girl with big old teeth goes, "I'm sorry, You're perfect. He closes the door on her. Just good stuff. Sam Kinnison's in it for a minute. His first movie debut. He's funny.
It is. I watched it a while ago. It is surprisingly very solid.
It's solid comedy. Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield, his movie career,
Well, I love his stand-up. I love Ronnie Dangerfield. I love Ronnie Dangerfield. I think his stand-up is the best, one of the best, if not top 5. His story, his real life story, is just fascinating. The guy never gave up. He went through some shit. Like, he had a bad life. He had a hard life.
Well, look at his face. You could tell he had a hard life.
No, I mean, he said he talked about when he was a kid, he would get into cars with strangers because they would give him a candy bar to let him like kiss him. Like he was molested as a kid because he was looking for someone to like be nice to him. Like, that's how bad his life was. Like, it's just sad shit. But he flipped it. I mean, he went dark. I'm just like, holy shit. And then he makes a joke out of it. Like, but what else are you going to do, Yeah.
I love hearing stories about other comedians who meet him and he's wearing a robe and his balls are just hanging out. I heard so many people tell that story.
Oh, God.
Went to Dangerfield's place and his balls were hanging out. And then I'm like,
sounds about right.
He did that a lot, apparently.
And he shows you the magic of cocaine. I think, you know what? Cocaine's not bad for you if you do it like Rodney Dangerfield. Because he lived to be 84, and he was doing cocaine in his, like, late in the 70s.
Well, he wasn't doing it every single day like Chevy Chase was.
He might have been doing it every day.
But
I don't know.
Those guys on, like, SNL were just burning
blasted,
like every fucking day. Like,
hey, let me show you how to do it right, kids.
All right, so that's a good movie. I really do enjoy it. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it's way better than Caddyshack.
No, it is, yeah.
Way more solid than Caddyshack.
I would say yes, absolutely. Well, that's more of a story. No. It has a story. And it's like such a wacky story because he's a diver. And you're like, what?
And what's her name? Fucking McBride. What's her name?
Terry Farrell.
Melissa tried to redo it. What's her name from?
She
tried to redo that movie.
Back to school. Oh God, yeah.
But it looked
Melissa McCarthy.
Terrible. Melissa McCarthy. Thank you.
Yeah, no, she did something similar. It was garbage. Yeah,
it looked awful. Yeah. I'm like, Dangerfield did this and he did it well. Just leave it alone.
Right.
Well, Melissa McCarthy sucks.
You don't have to redo everything with a girl.
No.
Okay.
Because didn't she redo Ghostbusters too?
Yeah, she did.
Yep.
She's the heart of all evil.
What's your number one there?
So my number one is definitely not on any of your lists.
Tell us a year. Let us guess.
2007.
Oh my God!
Is it Step Brothers again?
Nope. Super bad.
It is super bad. It is super bad. Super bad came out when I was in high school, and it was the perfect movie for my time at that point, and it hit all the tones and the pieces that I was, shit that I was going through and things that I was talking about, and it hit home. So my favorite part about this entire movie is the just the kind of sub story going on with Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Bill Hader, and Seth Rogen, the cops and Fogel. Yeah. Cops and Fogel, and it cracks me up every fucking time I watch it. The quotability, the shit that Jonah Hill says, the awkwardness of Michael Cera, like this movie it kind of all the pieces come together for me on this one. So I could literally watch this movie 100,000 times and still find it funny.
Yeah, Superbad's a good one.
Yeah, but that's my number one.
You definitely have a Judd Apatow, Adam
100%
McKay school of thought.
Yep.
And I appreciate it. It's definitely not on our list.
But well, I almost had 40-year-old version in my top 10.
I'm here to bring variety. That's what I do, man.
Yeah, I mean, Superbad. I've only seen it a few times. But every time I watch it, it's solid.
I like the vibe of the movie too, like the intro, like the pre-credits and like the songs that are playing and like the 70s like vibe that they're throwing at it, because at that time it was really cool to have like throwback stuff from the 70s and like be interested in all that kind of culture and music and whatnot, and it kind of just carries out through the entire movie, and it's just a fun time.
I like it because the liquor store that he buys liquor at, McLovin, is is that liquor store that was down the street from my old apartment, Dick.
Oh,
if you get on
really?
to Sunset Boulevard, it's right there.
that's
Like
funny.
Sunset and Fuller, there's a really shitty liquor store that's right there. That's the one that was, at least it looks exactly like it. If it's not it, I was like, oh, there it is.
But I love it just because, I mean, you get a lot of like random things thrown in there too. Like Joe Latruglio, like he's hilarious playing this ridiculous part of this guy and help them get to the party. But he's doing it because they basically blackmailed him because they backed up his car on them. And like Kevin Corrigan playing like just kind of a random cameo of the guy who's kicking him out of the party and is pissed off because his girlfriend danced with him and she got period blood all over his leg. Like just ridiculous shit. And it's like this one big party, end of the year. I'm graduating, all this, that, and the other. And I don't know. I love it. Represent my high school years.
Role Models is another good one. That's
I wish I put Role Models on my
Role Models is a good one.
Role Models is a good one too.
I like Paul Rudd in that movie is just me.
Yeah.
If I could name one person close enough to my personality, it's Paul Rudd in Role Models.
Vente is not a large, it's 20. Or you're ignorant in 2 languages.
Yeah. You're wrong in 2 languages. Venti is Italian for 20 ounces. Oh. I love it. But Joe Latruglio, you just brought him up. I want to mention he never gets the credit he deserves.
Oh, he's so good.
He's from the state. He's from Reno 911.
He's funny.
And like Paul and he's in Role Models.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's fucking fantastic
he's
on
one
that.
Of the leads on that show. That guy is great. He's great in everything. I just want to mention him because he never gets brought up when you talk about comedy movies. And I love him in everything.
He always hits that mark. It's like that one guy that was in one of his own new movies. What's his name? From Arrested Development.
Jason Bateman?
No, the other the brother, the one who gets his hands cut off.
Oh, I forgot his name too. I know who you're talking about though. He's in a bunch of stuff.
Hold on.
I forgot his name.
I'll pull it up.
I don't know Arrested Development, so sorry.
Here's some money. Go see A Star War.
Because we talked about like how he's in one scene of this episode on Twilight or the Twilight Zone, and we wanted more of him. Tony Hale.
Tony Hale,
yeah.
Tony Hale, like he just hits a mark, and he I want more of that guy. Like it's the same feeling for me for Joe Latruglio.
Tony Hale was so fucking good in that Twilight Zone episode, and then he was just out of what he's in that one scene. Yeah,
like I want to watch a whole series with just him in that.
He was so fascinating. The episode sucked. It was okay, I guess, but he stole that episode. But yeah, Tony Hale's great.
100%.
But yeah, Superbad, fun movie. I don't quote it often, but I do think about it enough in my head.
Sure,
if that makes sense. Like whenever I see a Hawaii ID, because my girlfriend's from Hawaii.
What name? What are you, fucking seal?
Yeah. I think about that like in my head, but I don't say it out loud.
Yeah, my favorite line in that movie is I forget the girl's name, but it's right after they go to the liquor store and McLovin's in it and he's getting held up. And they're turning around, they're talking about lube, and he's like, "That's stupid and bullshit." And then they turn around and they see this girl walking away, and she's got these new big pair of tits, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta go catch a glimpse of those warlocks." I'm like, what? Where does that come from?
Jonah Hill's like, "What are you banging 60-year-olds or 19? They're not dried up.
They're good to go."
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for lubing your 4-inch cock. Oh.
I really appreciate it, Michael.
And that was Emma Stone's the introduction of Emma Stone.
Bill Hader, though, stole that movie for me. I don't know why I loved him so much in that
Bill
movie.
Hader is one of those. I mean, like, I don't know if you've watched Barry at all on HBO, but
Barry's good. Barry's solid.
It is so good. And
good stuff.
Bill Hader, yeah, absolutely steals the show in anything he's in. He's just so like into it, and you can tell.
If you're interested in Bill Hader, I'll just say we'll almost end on this because I only got my number one. We've already talked about it, and we're done.
Okay.
Check out there's one of those deep fake videos, but it's Bill Hader on like Conan or something doing his impression of Tom Cruise, and they put Tom Cruise's face over him when he does his Tom Cruise face. It's fucking perfect. Because I watched that before I realized what deep fake was, and I'm like, holy shit! Like,
I gotta hear. We'll watch it after.
Deep fake's ridiculous,
it's creepy. But anyway, my number one we've already talked about. Hot Fuzz.
Yeah,
Fuzz.
You
know what's funny to me? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my top 5 to 6 6 movies, my top 6, I'd say, are flawless as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, it's my opinion, but I don't see any flaws in them. Hot Fuzz though is Shaun of the Dead, the perfection of, like I said, holding up a mirror, and the same thing applied to Big Lebowski. That's why I was starting that to say that, but I was going to save it for Big Lebowski. But it's holding up a mirror to the first half of the script, and the second half is a reflection of that, where it's everything's set up, the dialogue, and it's all paid off. Shaun of the Dead's the same way. Hot Fuzz is really like that. Everything they say, like, no luck catching those swans then. Later on, it's no luck catching those killers then. Like the exact same lines, just different enough. Yeah. And
look at his horse. Look at his horse.
Yeah, look at his horse.
I was gonna say, when I first saw this, I wasn't a fan. The first time I saw it. The second time I saw it, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I need to watch it again. I feel like I would appreciate it now that I'm a bit older. But yeah, solid pick.
I saw it in the theater because I was a huge fan of Shaun of the Dead, and I saw that in the theater 2 or 3 times. And then I saw Hot Fuzz in the theater. I went, oh no.
See, and that was I think it was because I went into the expectation of Shaun of the Dead was this, and Hot Fuzz is that, like, it is them, right? But it's a completely different category, and I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I hear you.
The first time I watched it, I was in the theater, and I was like, oh no, they're doing, and I was like, oh, just a shootout ends it. Okay, I was watching it too much like a generic movie, and then I rewatched it again in the theater, and I went, it clicked when I heard the line and I heard it repeated later. I go, oh, it is Shaun of the Dead written, like it's the same. Okay, and I really fucking enjoyed it. If you buy it on Blu-ray or the 4K, they have a pop-up video version of that where it's a little bubble and it says like, this is why this is like this. It's great.
Oh, really? I'll have to watch it that way.
Whole thing in there.
I think
4K set. I'll let you borrow it, Jansen.
I think the piece that I was missing from it is that, like, I think Shaun of the Dead was so like over the top as far as like what was happening in the movie compared to Hot Fuzz was like not necessarily a slow burn or anything, but like it wasn't as flamboyant and out there as what I was expecting, and that's why it threw me off.
See, and that's where I would actually completely disagree.
Really? Okay.
Hot Fuzz is way more out there as far as switch from beginning to end.
No, not necessarily from beginning to end. I just think it's like, I don't know.
It starts off with a guy like thinking there's murders when they keep saying there's not, to him shooting old people with guns, like,
and kicking him in the face.
Yeah, he kicks that old lady in the face over the fence.
That's true.
Knocks her ass out. Quick
question: did any of you watch that god awful movie that Bill Murray put out recently? Where it's like a zombie movie.
The Jim Jarmusch movie.
Yeah, the Jim Jarmusch.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
The guy from Star Wars.
Adam Driver's in it.
What is it called?
It's called The Dead.
The Dead Don't Die.
The Dead Don't Die.
It was fucking horrendous. Like, I hated the entire thing.
Clips that they bring up the director in the dialogue, where he's like, Jim must have.
Oh, no. The entire movie breaks the fourth wall from the first scene.
Why? It's not like it.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Jim Jarmusch is a piece of shit, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, now I'm sitting here thinking, okay, Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover, this could be good. And then just fucking dead. It was bad.
Was it Michael or Remco who was super into coffee and cigarettes?
I think both.
I remember and I was like, I can't fucking stand Jim Jarmusch. And then he's done some movies since. He did a movie with Tom Hiddleston about like vampires called Only Lovers Left Alive.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, and then that came out, and I was like, oh, I don't think I've seen a Bill Murray movie since the Ghostbusters remake.
Isle of Dogs. You didn't watch that?
No.
I like Isle of Dogs.
Well,
I haven't seen it.
Think about why.
I like Isle of Dogs. Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Don't care. So let's end on this, guys, because we're already in an hour 8. So let's finish up.
Yep.
I will just say, are there any comedies you're looking forward to? Because for me, I can't think of any.
Well, first off, I don't watch previews just like you. Second off, I feel like nothing's really being made that's of any note lately. And for most of the part, all I watch is like really like gritty, dark, or serious drama TV shows at this point.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's where I'm getting my money's worth. I feel like movie industry at this point in time right now is just not doing it for me.
No, it sucks. Suicide Squad looks like the best comedy for me.
Wet Hot American Summer.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you just back up?
Wet Hot American Summer.
Wet Hot American Summer is good. Dick, did you just say Suicide Squad looks good?
It does.
The new Suicide Squad, yeah.
It looks good.
But the first one looked good.
No, the first one was like shit. This one's actually good.
Shit, and it was shit.
Yeah.
But the first previews were like, oh, this could be good.
No.
You
gotta read the names involved.
Yeah. This one has the 90 has like a 100% Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah.
This one's really good. This one's.
Did any of you watch the other one that just came out?
Which one?
Or the
Justice League Snyder Cut?
No, I watched that.
I really like Snyder Cut.
Snyder Cut was good.
I didn't
the one with Scarlet.
Yeah, the
Black Widow. It was fine.
It was
fine.
It's the last Marvel movie I want to watch in a while. I'm done.
Well, I guess it is going to be the last Marvel movie. I don't care.
I haven't even watched any of the shit that's on Disney for it. Like I haven't watched.
Oh, those are pretty good.
They're fine.
Yeah. I couldn't get into the first one that came out. Which one is
WandaVision.
WandaVision.
The first 3 episodes are tough.
Yeah.
No, I loved the first 3 episodes. I hate the rest of it.
Well, I think they fit well for you though too because you're such a big Twilight Zone fan. I feel like that falls into your shtick.
I loved the fact that why the fuck is this happening, and I love the mystery of like why what she's stuck in. I love characters that are stuck in weird worlds, which is I love Truman Show. And
I like it too. I just didn't think it had much substance. Is the problem?
Yeah. I agree. Toward the end, it just turned into superhero schlock, and I fucking hated it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Loki.
All right. Anything else you guys are looking forward to? I'm sorry, I kind of took over.
The new Ghostbusters. I'm interested. I refuse to watch the new trailer. Unfortunately, I go to IMDb and it shows the little baby Stay Puft Marshmallow, and I'm like, why? It was just a random thought Ray had.
Yeah.
Why is it in this?
Because member berries,
Yes, but why the fuck is it here? Like, they're gonna have to go so far out of the way for this to make sense.
Honestly, dude, it's a giant money grab. They're gonna pull every little piece out of the old.
The terror dogs are back.
Yeah.
Why?
And they walk on 2 legs now.
Okay, it's like when they did the live action Scooby Doo movie. You're like, I don't need this.
No.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard, just do whatever.
If it's a good story, I'm fine. Because I don't like kid movies like this, where they the kids on adventure. Oh, so I guess there's kind of hints in the first trailer. The mine shaft is owned by the guy that invented that created the building in the first one, Ego Tan or whatever.
I feel like there's this big idea in Hollywood that says, oh, the new generation needs to have this reintroduced to them, so we should remake it. And the reality is we really shouldn't.
It's not that. It's we own this property that makes money. Can we make more money out of it?
No, I get that.
We don't want to make anything new because it's
we want to make little Stay Puft Marshmallow Man toys for kids. That's
for adults. For adults, it's not even kids buy this shit.
The movie companies never advanced past Star Wars as far as toys are concerned. They went, we got fucked in our toy deal there. We're making it up.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's it. Yeah. But yeah, I want to watch the new the new Ghostbusters movie, but I also am very deeply concerned that there are those memory shit like stay put. Yeah. Why is there Ray was on the top of the building and we were like, don't think anything bad, and he's like. And he thought of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's the whole joke, is it was random.
Yeah, I mean the next thing's
little baby ones. Why?
Well, but it's also a character he had as a kid growing up. That company wouldn't still be in fucking business 50 years later.
No,
I mean the next things I'll probably watch are gonna be Suicide Squad. I'll give it a shot. Free Guy. I like Ryan Reynolds, so I'll watch that. And not comedy related, but I'll watch the new 007 once it finally comes out too.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing. All these movies were supposed to come out last year.
Right.
This is basically.
Well, 007 was supposed to come out in like February of last year or some shit.
Amazon almost bought. Amazon
was the year before?
Bought it.
Yeah.
Amazon.
Sorry. Wasn't like 007 done like 2.5 years ago? But
it's been done.
It's been done for a long.
All this weird shit going on, and then
it was supposed to come out November 2020.
Yeah.
Then it was supposed to come out February 2021. Then it was supposed to come out in May. Then it comes out in November now.
Oh, don't forget they're redoing the Candyman too.
Jordan Peele. No,
Yeah, Jordan Peele produced.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right,
You looking at Candyman, bitch?
Let's get out of here.
On this show, next episode we're doing, as I believe. Oh, fuck you, Dick.
What?
Dick chose for episode 22, The Fog from 1980.
Good God.
Because he knows how much I hate it.
The original Fog, yeah.
The original Fog.
Yeah.
I can't stand that movie. And then Jansen chose Halloween, so that'll be episode 23.
All right.
Then I gave it.
Wait, how do you feel about that pick? Better or worse?
Halloween's great, obviously, but I chose, as a fuck you back to Dick, I chose Elvis from 1979.
Asshole.
The made-for-TV movie.
I'm going to be sick that week.
You should be sick that week. We should all be sick.
I'm sure it's actually good.
That'll be October 3rd. That episode's slated for.
Oh, so we got
a while to forget about it.
We got time.
They just did release the Jackass Forever trailer.
Oh, thank you. All right.
No, thank you, you said?
No. Until next time, in the meantime, I'm Phoenix West.
Digging it.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
So long, citizens. So long, John Carpenter, for some reason. I don't know why this is part of your show. I don't know.
Because we didn't know where else to put it.
Fuck it. I had to throw it on somewhere, and this is our live show for the week. Bye. All right.
Take 5.
Well, before we take 5, I am going to play the Purge thing, Jansen.
Uh-huh.
Can you not bitch about it?
Ah!
It's the one show I care about is B-Movie Battle and the Nick Cage thing. Just
tacky.
Don't bitch about it.
So it's tacky and I hate you. And once you watch that movie and understand where that reference is from, then I'll be happy.
Great. I'm not... what movie is it?
It's from School of Rock.
Okay. I'm not going to watch that movie.
You're going to watch it. I'm going to make you watch it.
Oh, I got the bathroom real fast.
All right, bye, Pig Dick.
I have to go to bathroom so bad. It's like 76.
I got to change my
catheter.
My name.
Oh, man. For some reason, this time of night, my upload speeds go to 0.
Yeah, it's because everybody's playing Call of Duty.
It's like I can't upload any of my podcasts this time.
It's all the kids playing video games, dude. I'm telling you. They finished their homework. It's time for video games.
Boom.
I need to watch that movie again. I watched it when it first came out, and I haven't seen it since, so I need to watch it again.
Turn off the banner, switch the brand. Not the Orville. We're going to B-Movie Battle. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Bathroom time.
All right, better.
Test. We are recording.
The dead though.
The movie companies never. Hi, Dick. Dickford. Dick.
I had to find the closest thing to a truffle pig that I had in my collection. I'll get a pig. Where's my pig? She's dead.
you did like Darth Vader. No!
My pig. Where's my truffle pig? I don't need the pig to find the truffles.
Should we wait for Jansen? What's going on with him?
Taking a big shit because of that fucking Taco Bell.
I sent a message.
Send a message. Get off the toilet, Jansen.
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't think I've ever actually sat through an entire A-Team episode.
Nope. That was before my time, just by a couple years, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I was on syndication when I was like a kid, but like
Yeah.
5, but I don't think I ever watched it, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. You know what's surprisingly not that bad? Maybe only because of Joe Carnahan, the A-Team movie.
The movie, I was just going to say.
It was
It's
not,
okay. I didn't like it when I saw it in theaters, but...
Yeah, I don't want to watch it again, but it was okay.
No, the second time I saw it, I was like, oh, you know what? This isn't as bad as I thought it was. I remembered it. It wasn't terrible.
It's fine. I like Joe Carnahan, though.
Yeah, Joe Carnahan's pretty solid. I like him.
Hey, Jansen.
Hey, Phoenix.
Hey, you ready?
Ready as I'm gonna get.
Sure you can not bitch for an hour or 5 minutes? Give me 10 minutes without bitching.
No, I'm not gonna bitch.
Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna get that on recording. You're not gonna bitch?
I don't have much to bitch about.
Okay. Well, in that case, let's get to the intro here.
Okay. Oh, this fucking intro.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the B-movie battle sanctioned by the government of Wonderland. Swear words of Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the show. All other swear words are restricted. Wonderland officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from the show and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 1 continuous hour. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until the review concludes. Blessed be our Wonderland leaders in America, a nation reborn. B-movie battle is now in effect.
Hello, citizens. Welcome to B-Movie Battle 53, Nick Cage Cast 31 for Pig from 2021. I'm Phoenix West.
Check.
I'm Jansen Carlin.
Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hey,
This is like fresh off the press, Nick Cage.
This is
Hot off the presses.
part of the reason I wanted to do this episode, and I pushed it forward in our schedule, was because it's brand fucking new. I to the point where I didn't realize how new, and that most of us didn't have access to the movie.
Nope.
But luckily, we watched it. All of us watched it. And
Show did.
where do I begin? Because this is the freshest of Cage. This is like right out the slaughterhouse Cage.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
So this is the most recent thing you can watch. This is like, I don't know if he was married before this when he shot it or married after, because he just got married again for the 5th time or 4th time.
Well, in the IMDb trivia, when they were shooting the movie, they went and saw the Parasite movie. So that was 2019.
Okay, he wasn't married yet.
Yeah.
So this is brand fucking new. And I just want to say, Cage can fucking act.
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Cage can. I keep telling you. This is why I do a show about the man.
He's a good actor.
He is
when he wants to be.
The problem is that the dialogue was minimal. Minimal.
Well,
we have to call that out. Don't get me wrong. Dialogue is not all acting is, right? But the dialogue was minimal, so I'm going to call that out.
Well, think about this. The dialogue was nothing for Willy's Wonderland. In that movie, he fucking sucked in it.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that contributed to that, though.
This made up for Willy's Wonderland and then some.
For sure.
This is one of my favorite Nick Cage movies ever.
Yeah. It
was so unexpected. Like,
yeah.
I didn't see any trailer.
No.
I didn't see any like snippets about the story, nothing. I had zero idea about what was going to happen in this movie. And I first off thought we were straight up watching hillbilly John Wick.
Yes. And I do want to pause right there because that is a very valid thought when you're watching this. Because it is the same premise. And to be honest, the same payoff. Because if you think this movie's about his pig and how he's going to get it back, the pig doesn't matter.
No.
It's a movie about loss and accepting loss and moving on from grief and all that without
in different ways.
Saying it.
In different ways that people are handling grief. And not even like, and we don't even get a full deep picture of what each person's grief is. Nothing is ever really said about what actually happened. It's just all kind of understood, which was amazing. Annoying at times, but amazing. Annoying to the fact for me that I was just like kind of wanting to know more, I think.
Okay, that's fine. I was perfectly okay with everything I watched and had no questions. And I was like, they briefly touched on things and moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't focus or linger on things too much other than where they wanted to linger. Like there's some shots that are really long of like people just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what they're going for though. But you're not thinking like, where's this going? Here it is.
Well, and this is this director's directorial debut too, right? From what I can tell,
feature, I believe
his first feature.
I think
he's done shorts
before that, yeah,
and some TV work. But
yeah, this guy, Michael
Sarnowski,
great fucking job, dude. I have zero notes for you.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I don't know. I've not talked about a movie like this since I watched the first episode of Nick Cage Cast when I did The Trust. Nick Cage and Elijah Wood, and it just was.
Yeah.
They let Cage go in that movie with Elijah Wood, and it's just like perfection.
No, this is Oscar Cage right here. That's what this is.
He's really good in it.
Yeah,
he's really good, 100%. And I feel like he's gonna get snubbed. Obviously, he's not even getting nominated. This movie.
He's a white man. They're not gonna give him an award right now.
He's a Coppola though.
He's the Coppola. That's
wait, it's not the 70s anymore. That doesn't matter.
He's done. It's over. He's gone. I'm trying to find my pig.
I think the most interesting piece to me through all this is like the choices that were made on screen, right? The choices that all of these things are happening to him and all these situations he's getting into, and yet he hasn't washed up. He hasn't changed clothes once.
He's got that blood on his face the whole movie,
right? And it just shows you how like it makes a point out of his determination or his character's determination. And I think that was really, really well done.
The only problem I had for this movie, though, is because the way I watched it, it kind of froze and skipped a little bit. So it's some scenes, it was just kind of frustrating because like you could hear it, but then the image would catch up. So I kind of had some things lost for me. But
that's my internet's.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it was still a good movie. It was still great. I mean, I would say this might be my favorite movie of the year so far. Like, I mean, I know not much came out this year, but this was such an original. Just who would have fucking made a movie about a pig sniffing truffle pig. Like Nick Cage living in the forest, finding truffles. And then that doesn't even matter because then
The
later
pig doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah.
The
That's
pig,
the best. That's the
if you
best
think-
line in the movie.
If you think the pig is what he's actually after,
No.
I understand that logic, but
Yeah.
you're going down the wrong rabbit hole.
No.
He's looking to fix his life, and in the end, he goes, "I can't fix my life, but I will continue with this kid because this kid means more to me than anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's my connection to the world at this point, and that's
Well, at the-
really
well,
what
how
it
you go-
matters in the end."
At the end, the last thing he says is, "I'll see you Thursday."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
These
it's great.
This is my pick. This is what I have on the website for movie of the year so far. This is winning.
Yeah.
Like, by far. And last year it was Invisible Man, The Gentleman the year before, Hereditary, which stars this fucking kid.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
He's in 2 out of the last 4 years, and Logan and Swiss Army Man, but blah, blah, blah. Yeah, every year I put my Oscar pick. I call it the losers.
Swiss Army Man.
Swiss Army Man made me laugh, but at the end, I was like, oh, you realize it's the same thing. You realize what it actually is. Has nothing to do with controlling a body, making it fart, and stuff like that. It's about a guy.
I never saw it. So
It's actually a really sweet movie.
I hear it's good. Yeah, I
It is. It is. When you watch it, you're like, "This is stupid." You get to the third part of it though, and you're like, "Oh, that's what this movie's about." It hits you. I love those movies that hit you like, "Oh fuck!" Like there's a Scrubs episode with Brendan Fraser where JD's like seeing Brendan Fraser everywhere, and he's like joking around with him. And at the end, he's like joking around. He gets out of the car and he's like, "Ah, where are we going?" And then he realizes he's like. And the girl goes, "Where do you think we are?" And then the audience realizes we're at Brendan Fraser's funeral, and JD was just fucking around with him to get to the funeral, so he doesn't have to accept the emotions. And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like it hit me so hard. But yeah, this movie is very hard to talk about because it's very simple, but also very complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is shit happening in this movie that I want to know. I want a whole movie backstory.
Oh,
like,
100%.
That's why
Like-
it's so good.
like the waiter underground bunker fight club that happens.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
fuck is that?
I was just like,
amazing.
what? Like, it's parts. Man, how do I explain this? This movie has so many scenes into it where it's like, I get 80% of what's going on, but I need the other 20% to fully understand.
Well-
but then you get to the end of the movie and you realize it doesn't fucking matter.
No.
And that's the purpose of it.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
what's nice about, I guess, if you read the trivia on it, this movie was originally 2.5 hours long,
Mm.
And that's
and
fine.
they cut an hour out to
But
make it shorter, and that's
think
what
about
makes
this.
it work.
We all love this movie,
Yeah.
and 2 of us so far have said it doesn't fucking matter in the end because
Yeah.
it's not about the pig. It's not about the story that gets you there. It's literally it's a human emotion story.
Yeah.
That carries this character through, and you don't know much about him, but he has enough of a microscope on his
Yeah.
life that you really feel for the guy and you understand what he went through. And they don't explain shit. Like he goes to at one point, I know I'm all over the place, but he goes to a bakery and he's like, "Do you still bake those things?"
You still make
Yeah.
that
And he's like,
the
"Same
sourdough
recipe."
bread.
Yeah. Can I have some?
Well, what I gathered from that
And
was
that's it.
that was his restaurant, and she
It was
worked
his
for him.
restaurant.
Oh, it was his
Yeah.
wife's restaurant.
That
Yeah.
was his
And
wife.
she gave it up when she got sick. She left, and then
Yeah.
because this is all told in vague dialogue, because she goes,
Right.
"I assume she would come back, so I didn't change anything, but then she didn't, so I changed something." And it's all really glossed over.
It looks good. Looks better without the curtains.
But you realize the wife didn't come back to that restaurant, and then so he wants some of that bread because it was his wife's recipe, and that's all that mattered. It wasn't actually about the bread; it was just the fact that his wife made that recipe, and then he takes it and gives it to his friend, to the wolf. What's his name?
Yeah. I forgot his name in the movie. It
No,
doesn't matter.
real name. Alex Wolf,
Yeah, Alex Wolff is real.
brother of the kid who's Lloyd in The Stand that we recently did.
Oh,
He's real life brothers of that kid. But okay, so let's backtrack a little bit if we could and go over in order, because this is a brand new movie. A lot of people haven't seen it. I will just say, if you haven't seen it, we're not giving anything away yet. Watch it. After that, we're doing spoilers now. So fuck it. You've had your warning.
Well, you almost you spoil it in the fact that you say, like, what it could have been, because it could have went a completely different direction.
We're going to have a whole conversation about what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But that'll be after the opening scene. We'll talk about that. Because it starts off, Nick Cage is sitting there. He's walking around the woods, and he's truffle hunting. And the pig is like snorting, and he goes over and he's like, "Good one, boy, good one, and good one, girl, whatever." Pulls up this giant truffle, this giant fucking mushroom that's underground. They're like 3-4 inches below the ground. And he gets it. And he goes back to his house and he's cleaning it, and then he starts making dinner, and it's really involving. And you kind of realize he's not just a hillbilly, but also he's living a very hillbilly lifestyle. But his cooking is very intricate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching. I'm like, this isn't like hillbilly living. But I didn't think about the cooking until way later.
Yeah, I honestly can say the same thing. Like, I didn't make that connection until halfway into the movie. And I'm like, oh, okay.
When he goes, I didn't realize it till Chef Derek goes, "Oh, hey," and I was like, "Oh, he's a chef." That explains the intro.
Right. That's
when I caught on. But he's making it, and then all of a sudden some rich dude shows up and buys the truffles off of him. He's kind of a dick to the rich kid. And he's like, "If I catch you out here dead, like, who else is gonna know?" And then he starts getting some batteries out, and he starts to play a cassette, but it cuts. You don't really see what happens there. The tape says "for Robin." Mm-hmm. We don't see what that means. But I should mention there's 3 parts of this movie. The first part says Part 1, rustic mushroom tart. This is the first part. In the middle of the night, when he goes to sleep after selling his truffles, someone breaks into his little fucking shack in the middle of nowhere and steals the pig and knocks him the fuck out. That's really all we need to say. Now we can get into like where you thought this was going to go, because I think we're all 3 of us were thinking John Wick, right?
Hillbilly John Wick. Yep.
All of us. And I love the fact that throughout the entire movie, I kept going, here we go. He's going to grab a shotgun. He's going to go into this house and he's going to blow some fuck. And it never happens.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it never happened. Instead, he cooks a meal for the villain in the end. That's it.
But
I mean, the meal for the villain in the end was like the culmination of everything for me, right?
Well, because they set it up. It's that setup and payoff again, where the son talks about the greatest time his parents ever. The only thing that ever made him happy was that one meal, and that was the only time they were ever happy and had good memories about something. And then and Adam Arkin, who plays the villain, basically, Adam Arkin is so good in this.
So good.
He's great, and it's like. He's like a food guy, and he's acting like he's a fucking mafia boss. Where he's like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you and your family.
Well,
don't fuck with me."
He's an ingredient sourcer, which in big city life like that, you are the alpha and the omega.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much. Yeah.
You're the go-to guy for everything that you need, and if you don't get your stuff from him, you ain't shit.
Which is such what an interesting story to tell. From that point of view, because I've never seen a movie like this ever. Mm-mm. Not with this storyline, like ever.
It turns out, because there's certain movies I really wanted to love when I watched them. It was the movies who pretended were action movies that pretended to be these low budget indie movies. It was like Killing Them Softly. Mm-hmm. Christian Bale had one, Out of the Furnace, where they pretend to be, and they're set in like these towns in like Pennsylvania where it's like coal miners or steel workers, and it pretends to be an indie movie, but really it's just an excuse for a guy to show up with a shotgun and blow everyone away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I lose my interest when the shotgun shows up. Turns out what they needed to do was the opposite, where you think it's going to be like a revenge flick, and it ends up being an indie movie, where it's just a guy conversating. He just has conversations to get out of the situations, and that's all he does. He never raises his voice. He never pulls out a gun. He never is even near a gun. In fact, the only fight scene is him getting the shit beat out of him. So
by a midget waiter.
Yes, and
he never throws a punch.
Yeah, the whole point is you get your ass kicked and you get money and information, and that's it. And it turns out that's the way you need to do it, because I'm watching this, and Adam Arkin, that you're talking about, like he's a mafia leader. His son is Alex Wolff, the second main character in this, who's the guy who's working with Cage. And I thought he's just buying truffles and selling them. And that's all I thought it was. But turns out you can kind of tell by dialogue that there's a little more going on. Like he has to sell them. And he's like, I don't want to take you to town to find your pig because that's where I work. There's something else going on. You don't really get it. Then the way he talks about his dad, I thought his dad was in a separate line of business where he's a mobster.
Yeah.
Killing people and all this. And it turns out the exact same line of work. He just has more of a reach. He just has more of a shadow over the Portland area. And that's it. It's a really fucking simple movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so much little intricate scenes that I don't have any answer for. Like, why is there an underground fight club?
That's hilarious.
Why are waiters beating up bums? I don't
think it were bums.
That first guy was a bum.
Well, I think they're fighting the chef. They get such abuses from the chefs.
Getting revenge on the chefs?
It's like they're getting revenge. And that's why when he puts his name, it was like he's the ultimate chef. And like he's like the ultimate, let's fuck him up guy because he must have yelled at so many waiters in his time.
Well, here we go. Let's play that scene real quick. I just have a quick snippet because I don't want to get shut down on YouTube. So here we go. I don't want to put too much on there because, brand new movie, but yeah, he goes in this underground fight club thing and he writes his name down. He said, the bigger your name, the more money you'll get. Mm-hmm. And it's some random small ass waiter pays a bunch of money. It looks like little carpet fibers, but apparently that's money.
I don't think it's money. I think what it is like tickets for like credits they've earned for hits that they've taken. Right.
Yeah. It's weird, right? It's not money. It looks like they ripped it. It looks like fabric.
Yeah.
It looked like tickets, like ticket stubs.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. And I have so many questions at this point, and I'm going, because the whole point is he makes Alex Wolf, not Nat Wolf. He makes him take him to the city where he works to find out information. He goes and speaks to a guy, and I forget the guy's name, and he's just like, do you know who you're talking to? Do you know that guy's real name? And he's like, okay, and he leaves. And he makes him take him down into Hotel Portland, which is like behind a fucking secret thing.
It's basically where Darren McGavin went in the Night Stalker movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's where he went. That was
his ass kicked because he puts his name up there and some guy pays a shit ton of carpet fibers and beats him up. And then they just leave and he wakes up the next morning in Alex Wolf's apartment. I'm like, what is happening? That should be enough to lose you, but instead I'm going, okay.
And then Nick Cage has that great monologue about we're all here on the city and the earthquake's going to come and then the big tsunami wave's going to come and just finish you off. So what does it matter? It doesn't matter anyway.
If I could say this, and let me know if this makes sense, because this is the way I felt the entire movie. I felt like the dialogue that Cage had was very minimal. And if it went 5% this way or 5% this way, the movie would have failed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it walked this perfect fucking line where he's telling you exactly what you need to know. He's leaving it ambiguous enough. And Alex Wolf is reacting in a way that's reasonable within that 5% margin. And you just carried the whole way through in this perfect line. I'm waiting for it to topple, and it never did.
Well, and I think that's what keeps towing this line for him as an actor too, right? Like he keeps taking these roles that are great opportunities and fun projects and things like that. But if the dialogue isn't written correctly for him to deliver correctly, it could just completely crumble.
You do mean Cage, right?
Yeah, Cage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say something about Alex Wolf, because Alex Wolf is really fucking good in this.
Yeah.
To the point where I didn't recognize him until about 25 to 30 minutes into the movie. When I was like, oh, it's the Heredity kid. I know him. And I didn't recognize him because he had glasses on and he was in a sports car. And then he gets out of the car and I'm like, oh, hey. Like, great.
I know you.
Yeah. I know you, asshole. But yeah, no, do you know what I mean, though? Like, if this would have had Cage being a little more... If he was too reclusive and didn't tell Alex Wolf's character anything, the movie would have sucked.
Yeah,
right.
He told them literally just enough to keep the movie going, not too much, he let the movie let the character that Alex Wolff plays, named Amir, apparently, let him discover enough along the way that you didn't feel like you're being preached to, and you didn't feel like you're being ignored as an audience member.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think the undertone there too is that he's going through his own pile of grief and trying not to persuade Amir on how to deal with his own at the same time, right? And that he's leading him in the same direction, but he's not pushing him, and he's giving him the general direction he needs to go.
Agreed. My favorite stuff in the movie is Alex Wolff's stuff with his mom and his dad.
No.
And the movie doesn't even give you the satisfaction of seeing Alex Wolff come up to his dad and be like, "What the fuck, Dad?" Like, that's what you expect.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not reality. Instead, it's just this ignored thing where Alex Wolff's character just goes, "I have to deal with this on my own. My dad is never going to change. I have to deal with this. How am I going to do that?"
Yeah.
And instead, it's just a connection of Cage and Alex Wolff's character. Like they realize we can help each other through this weird situation that we're both in. Because Alex Wolff's mom killed herself, even though she's still alive. We find out, which I didn't even realize. And then he shows up at like a hospital room and he's outside. And then when I went back and re-listened to it when I was cutting clips, I go, "Oh, because I was like, maybe this is a flashback, but no, he goes, "Why is Dad keeping you alive? I wish he would let you die." And she's like, "You want me to come in?" He's like, No. So apparently the dad is just so desperate, he's just keeping her on life support for no fucking reason.
It's because he hasn't dealt with his own grief.
Yeah, but that's this scene here.
Would you wish Dad would just let you die?
Did you want to see her?
No.
No.
Really quick, but yeah, it's very quick, that scene. And it's out of there. They don't address it. You don't see the mom. You don't see a scene of the kid going, "Mom, I wish Dad." None of that.
Right.
It does not give you the satisfaction of having those really melancholy moments. It just, here's this, we're moving on. It's weird to be positive about a Nick Cage movie. I haven't in a while.
One of the best scenes is when they go to the restaurant. When he goes, I want to talk to the chef. And the chef comes out and he goes, "Hey," he goes, you don't recognize me." And he realizes who he's talking to.
Then Alex Wolff's like, tell him who you are. Tell him who you are.
Yeah. And he knows.
He just goes, blood.
He's got blood. He's got blood all over his face the whole movie.
I have the clip of this.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it's great.
But Nick Cage just going, he basically reveals that he fired this waiter this chef in the past. And he's like, "Do you want to start like a pub?"
Yeah.
Instead, you're at this like fucking hipster shop where the food is served this big under smoke.
Yeah.
What was it you always used to talk about opening? Wasn't it a pub?
Everyone loves it here. This is a huge success.
Why didn't you open your pub?
I don't know that I really wanted. I mean, it's just such a long time ago.
When I fired you, I asked you what you wanted to do.
I love that scene.
It's great.
I love that scene because like what he's really saying is like, I was teaching you wrong. This isn't what it's about. It's about living your life and enjoying it to the fullest and dealing with what you want to do and not caring about who else has a thought about you.
It's a guy. Yeah, exactly right. It's a guy going, "I taught you that food making is just a job and do what people want. But since his wife has died and now he lives in the woods and he just hunts for truffles in her memory and has a pig in her memory, which is fucking sad." He goes, "None of that matters. Just do what you want." And he literally like explains that to the guy over the next 3 or 4 minutes. And the guy's so desperate to like seek attention. He's like, no, but like people like this shit. Like, come on. He's like, none of that matters. And then, but what he's really doing is talking to Alex Wolff.
Mm-hmm.
He's not talking to the chef at all. He's talking to Alex Wolff, going, "None of that fucking matters, kid."
Yeah,
because he doesn't give a shit about Derek the chef. Like,
my favorite part of that scene though was his delivery, the chef's delivery of,
Yeah, he's so good. He says, so defeated.
Yeah,
And just Nick Cage
he
just breaks
reminds
it
me.
in two.
He's like a fully blown balloon that you just let go of. But I love the fact that they, like I said, I keep saying riding this line. I keep doing this analogy because it's not about Derek the chef. It's him talking to this kid through this vessel that is Derek the pathetic chef in front of him. He's talking to Wolf over here, to Amir, the character. He's talking to him. That's it. He's like, "What do you give a shit about your dad? Your dad doesn't fucking do what you want." That's all he's saying. And I can't believe they have an entire movie where that happens, and they never have that conversation at the end of, "This is what I meant by that, kid." You know, that over obvious dialogue.
Yeah.
Remember that scene that I was doing that for you? They never comment on that.
Well, I think that like movies have also gone away from this style, right? They've stopped making you think, and they've handed you things on a silver platter. I mean, that's the entire Marvel universe to me, right? Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoy the movies and I have a great time, but it doesn't leave me. It does. I don't think about that movie days later.
Yeah.
So remember that scene in Black Widow where she's flying from the no,
it's instant gratification.
Exactly. And then once you're done with it, you're done because there's no subtext. And this movie is entirely subtext.
Yeah.
It's everything you think this movie is going to be about, it's not.
Yep.
And that is amazing that they walk this tightrope and get to the end. And I still go, that was fucking great. I watched this movie in like I was awe-inspired, which I've never said about a Cage movie.
I mean, when you have this much of a movie that is so driven by not just the way people say things, but their image on screen.
Yeah.
It's truly something, right? I mean, like I was saying before, we just don't have this anymore. Haven't seen this outside of like some indie film shit. Hollywood doesn't do this shit.
I'm glad you're on board because I really thought you're going to be the naysayer here, Jensen.
Oh no. I was for about 15, 20 minutes.
And then you went radio silent after.
Yeah, because I thought it was going that direction. And then I never responded back to you guys after that. I was like, I'm hooked. I don't know what's happening, but I did
the exact same thing. Only I watched it like 2 days before you guys. And I was like, here we go. He's going to pull out I'm like, oh no, he's not doing a goddamn thing.
No.
He's just along for the ride. But he's in control, but he's not. Like it is a unique watching experience.
It's like a Western.
Yeah.
He's the old gunslinger coming back to town to get his property. But then it's not about that at all. It's about just this guy's legend comes back into town. It was like, that's him, that's Robin, oh my God, that's the chef. Right. What happened to him? Nobody really knows what happened to him.
Well, and the craziest part I think about this story is that like none of this would have happened had he not had that life before all this, right? Like, we don't get to this point. We don't have this acceptance of grief for all of these characters without him having been this person before that and recognizing what damage he's done as that person and trying to correct it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it makes you wonder, was he part of that staff that used to beat the shit out of these chefs who would show up and throw their names on a chalkboard? And it makes you wonder, is that part of his grief? And that's why he accepts his beating? Or was he on the receiving end of that beating before? Like, it doesn't tell you.
No.
It lets you guess. And I love when it, like I said, subtext. Let me assume my own movie and assume my own character motivation. Yeah. Because it's way more fascinating than this is what he is and this is what he feels. Like, I don't want to know. Like,
right. Don't spell it out for me.
Yeah, at a certain point, I want to have a little bit of mystery here. I want to dress it up in a little bit of lingerie and guess what's underneath. I don't want you to just, here's her vag. I'm like, okay, god damn.
Jesus. Yeah, 100% agree.
But I do want to pause and just go back to the point where his pig got taken, his truffle pig got taken in the middle of the night and get the shit beat out of him. I love the fact that he wakes up and then he walks all the way to a bar because his truck breaks down. He walks to the bar, calls Alex Wolf, who shows up and is like, "All right, what are we doing?" And And they go to the woods to like this weird location with this lady who's out in the woods handling all the
she's the
truffles.
other truffle. She's another truffle girl.
Exactly. I don't know. I thought it was going to be this. This is what I expect. Every time I expected the scene to be something, it was completely wrong. I was completely wrong. I could not have been more wrong about a movie than I ever was in this.
I flat out expected her to walk up to a trailer and open a door, and there's just like lined with guns and shit. Like, take your pick. Let's go fuck them up. You know what I mean?
Instead, she's like, all right, what's going on? And she's like really busy and she's not really paying attention. So I expected, I don't give a shit and I know too much. And you expect a scene with her off to the side, like we sold that pig. No, she just goes, all right, what do you take? He's like, a pig. She's like, what kind of pig? He's like, truffle pig. She's like, motherfucker, you fucking, and she's so on board.
Right. I think the subtext to me there is that she knows what that pig meant to him, like full on. And that's like not the fact that it was a truffle pig, that pig had like emotional value and that fucked him up.
And she knows because she was so on board and angry for him. Like, watch this. It's like 12 seconds.
They took my pig.
What kind of pig?
It's a truffle pig.
Motherfucker. Wiki, you take over. Anyone fucks with Wiki, I'll break your fingers, motherfuckers.
Like, that lady does not fuck around. She knows exactly what asshole.
Break your fingers.
But that was the first sign I watched in this movie where I went, oh, I'm way off on what I thought the scene was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just the whole way through just wrong about everything.
Yeah, it's just
I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop throughout the entire movie. And then we get like, I feel a little bit empty-handed at the end, but then I think on it more. I'm like, no, not empty-handed. I have something to chew on. I have something to think about.
Full hands full of food. You just don't see the food.
Yeah.
But that's the first sign where I went, oh, I'm off horribly, because this movie's not going to give you what you think you want. That's why I said withholding from the audience. You think it's going to be John Wick. You kill my dog, you're dead. You think it's you kill my pig, you're dead. Instead, he goes, you kill my pig. He falls and cries, gets up and just goes the fuck home and just takes off his shoes and looks at the pig's bed and then looks up at the skies. He hears his wife's song. And then the movie ends, and you're like, I was like, "Holy shit! I didn't expect this to be so deep."
Mm-hmm.
And I can't believe I'm.
But then,
I got his pig stolen as deep.
So I think that symbolizes the last piece of attachment he had to his grief, and now he's going to listen to that tape and fully feel it and move on.
You could tell he's tried to listen to that tape for 6 years, 7 years, who knows how long. And just couldn't get through it because he keeps putting in batteries, and just letting the batteries ride out. Because by the time he puts the tape in and listens to it, those batteries are like flickering. You watch the light on the cassette thing is just flickering, like it's on its last legs. He's been gone for so long, and finally listens to it, and it's like it's about grief and overcoming it and moving on with your life and realizing other people have grief and bonding with them. That's the whole story. And I didn't expect that with this, because when I heard about this originally, because you guys know, people share Nick Cage shit with me nonstop online, and I heard this pig move. It's like someone stole his pig and he's gonna go get it back. So I'm already thinking originally from the start, John Wick with pig, because why wouldn't you?
Right.
So I don't think people are going to realize ever that's totally not like that.
No, I mean, not unless, I don't know. From what I can tell off IMDb, I don't think this movie is getting quite the following it needs. I mean, it's got a great rating, but the monetary return is kind of slim.
Well, yeah, you can blame that on Corona if you want, but
sure. But
I want to go to the theater and watch this. If I 100%. Can, I will.
No.
Yeah, same.
I want to give this movie some money.
My favorite line was they're talking about like something about Oregon. It's like, well, I'm not moving to fucking Seattle. He's like, yeah, fuck Seattle.
Fuck Seattle.
That's good shit.
And that's kind of what I was saying. Is you started to say earlier with how good Cage is keep the dialogue minimal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's as minimal as you think it is.
No, I mean, after thinking about it a little bit more, I'm like, I realize that he has, the majority of the dialogue in the movie. However, I think the movie itself is setting a tone that dialogue is not the most important piece of this movie.
No.
And I think that Nicolas Cage on his own does benefit from dialogue that is well written, first of all, and has enough story to back it up, not to mention isn't over the top, right? I think his true sweet spot is not doing things that are over the top, even though that is what he is known for in a lot of things.
Yeah. He has different sweet spots. It's up there, man. I've watched
this
literally is every Nick Cage movie there is.
This is a new Cage. This is Oscar Cage right here is what this should be.
Well, there already is an Oscar Cage.
Oh, is there?
No.
Yeah, because he won for Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
No.
But he's way better in this. Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
He's really good in Leaving Las Vegas, which he won for, but don't get me wrong. But man, I think if it weren't for the fact that when the Academy reads the description that says a man loses his pig and hunts it down, they've already voted him no.
Mm-hmm.
They've already said no to his Oscar. So he's not going to even come close. He's not going to get nominated. Not even close. But I really think he should be in consideration because he's really fucking good in this movie. And I'm a guy. You guys have done this show enough with me. I'll tell you if he's shitty.
Oh, yeah.
He's shitty in a lot of movies, and this is definitely not one of them.
Agree.
He was really, really great in this, and it did help with the tone because I think the director did a better job than Cage did. The director did such a fucking good job.
Well, I mean, even the editing of this movie was excellent.
Oh, yeah. I really think the director should win the Oscar for Best Director. Like, because he's also the writer. He's story by. He should definitely win something for this because it is perfectly told exactly what it is. It's not like a fucking like Schindler's List or anything. Let's not blow it out of proportion, but
it's not that hot and erotic.
Yeah.
No, but like the way that he framed certain scenes, like I'm just looking at like the snapshots of like these wide angle shots that are like so perfect in capturing the essence of what's happening in that scene. Like him greeting the pig outside the front door or waiting for him sitting at the table at the restaurant with the diner with the kid, like the lighting and everything. Everything looks and comes together so well that really captures everything that we're expecting from this story so far.
Yeah, there are so many scenes in this movie where it concerned me because I saw the first part 1 rustic mushroom tart pop up on screen. I go, oh no.
Personally, I could have done without that.
Yes, because then it goes part 2, mom's French toast and deconstructed scallops. And that's to Derek. And I was like, oh no. Yeah. And then I missed part 3 because I
make French toast with stale bread.
Yeah, that's the last thing.
Part 3 was like a bird, a bottle, and a
salted baguette.
Salted baguette, yeah.
Yes.
And that one I think was poignant because that's the meal he ended up making.
Well, I do have some questions about that third section of the movie. Because he goes, all right, your dad, okay, shows up at the dad's house. They realize at one point that the dad is the one who stole the pig.
Mm-hmm.
He hired the meth heads, who was totally not Kristen Wiig. Watch this scene.
Yeah, Kristen.
Did you see him?
I didn't get like a fucking ID or.
It's either Kristen Wiig or Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, exactly. I literally wrote that exact combo, Jensen. But they stole the pig for someone. They said it's a rich guy in the city. That's all you find out. Eventually, you find out it is Wolf's dad. And then he's like, I swear I didn't fucking know. Like, I didn't know at all. He goes and talks to the dad, and the dad's like, yeah, I got the pig. Well, I'll give you 25 grand. Go fuck off. Like, fuck off to the woods. He's like a mafia guy. And I was like, what all
he's hardened. He's hardened. And Nick's character has recognized that he hasn't dealt with it. And he is still being a hard ass. He's not loving his son. He's not living his life. He's just working, and that's it. So he's like, now I'm going to fuck with him. Now I'm going to make him feel it.
The great thing about that is you don't realize that then.
No.
At least I was still expecting Cage to show up with a shotgun to the dad. Go, give me the fucking pig. Still expecting that.
Yeah.
because that's what I've seen in movies. And instead he goes, I'm not giving you the pig. Go, when you fuck off back to the woods, you hillbilly. Here's your money. I'll send it to you tomorrow. Bye. Do not show back up here. In which case Cage goes, here's a plan. Here's a list of shit. Go get it. And that's when you see the kid show up at his mom's place and realize she's still alive. The dad is hanging on to life support for some fucking reason for a decade now. Why? Cage goes and talks to the baker who used to work with his wife, and the whole thing's different, but the bread's still the same. He gets that. Kind of like a last meal just in case shit doesn't work out. And kind of like here's a memory of my wife. Kind of like a dual thing going on there.
There was definitely a piece of that there for sure.
Yeah. And he goes, all right, and the kid shows up at a funeral place and he gets a bunch of wine, but it's also the place where Cage's wife's funeral plot was. I was a little confused why it was.
No, she was because he knew all the upper people of the city because he has the best restaurant. So he was sort of like he knew all the upper crust people. So she must have owned the mortuary. So she's a multimillionaire. Owns the mortuary. That's why she said, have an appointment to come see this.
Here's my name.
Rob sent me.
Yeah.
Come right in. It's like, and he gave her all his wine selection.
But why was the wine stored at the same place his wife's body was?
Well, it's where you store. It's just a storage room. It's where it is. It's fine. It's not too out of the realm of.
I think what's really weird. I think the subtext here is he gave up all of his life and gave away all of his possessions. He had a fond relationship with this lady. She ended up with all the wine.
Yeah. It is definitely a scene where, because he goes, you could use my name when you get there. And he goes, I can use your name? Finally. Yeah. He's tried 3 or 4 times. And he's like, yeah, use my name.
Yeah.
You're basically going, yes, I acknowledge you as a friend. And the kid goes, you acknowledge me as a. That's really what he's saying. Again, it's never what you're hearing. It's what. How often do I describe things like this where I go deeper than what is said? It's the kid going, you accept me as a person, and realizing he means more to him than his dad is, and that's really what this movie's about. And going, okay, well, he shows up, gets the wine, sees the wife's burial plot, and she goes, here, the spot next to her I kept empty for Robin. Let him know, just in case, because I like that she plants the seed for no reason of Robin might die in this movie, because I'm still thinking he's going to show up with a shotgun and get blown away. And no, it doesn't happen. But he goes and makes the meal for the dad, which this character set up by talking to the mom through the door, who's in the hospital, going, "There's the meal that chef made. I found him."
No,
he doesn't say he's going to make it again, but that's exactly his revenge, is showing up to the dad who won't give him his pig back, but tries to buy him off. And instead of a shotgun, he shows up with a fucking meal, this chicken and this cheese and everything.
Well, and then he says, I remember every single meal I ever made for every human, for every person to get in my restaurant. And that was the same meal that he ate with his wife. And he knows it. And that's why he's crying. And so I fucked him. It's basically fucked him up more than a bullet.
Exactly. And that's when I go, this movie I fucking love.
Yeah.
Because he smells the wine and goes, and I was like, oh my God, like that hit him like a fucking hammer.
Right. It's great because every person, every human can make a connection to that moment, right? I'm hearing this music, I'm tasting this specific thing. It is reminding me of an exact moment in my life. And what's going through his mind at that time. And
they did a fine line job of Wolf setting up the fact that his mom and his dad had one meal together where they came back and they're laughing and they're having a great time. They weren't arguing like normal on date night. And that turns out that was the meal that Nick Cage cooked him. And that's exactly what he prepares. And then what's his fucking name? Adam Arkin. Drinking the wine. He's like, and breaks down, starts crying, goes into his office, starts drinking some scotch out of a bottle.
Get out of my fucking house!
Yells at him. And then Cage is like, I'm not going, like basically looking at him like Steven Seagal, like, I'm not going anywhere.
I love my pig.
But he's like, just talk. He's like, let's just talk. Let's not kick me out of the house. Let's just talk about this.
Yeah.
Because you have not talked about your wife. Let's talk. And then Adam Arkin breaks down, is like, By the time those crackheads got me the pig, it was already dead. I'm sorry, man. And then Cage breaks down, and then Alex Wolf's just watching this thing like, what the fuck is happening with my family?
Yeah. But did Cage talk about the pig before or after that, where he said, why do you need the pig so much? It's not I don't need it. The truffles, the trees show me where the truffles are. Before that.
Yeah.
Why do you want the pig then? Because I love her. Mm-hmm. That was the giveaway.
It was the giveaway, but by that point,
thing,
I had already picked up on it. So it wasn't it's a giveaway if you're slow.
I just like the fact that he said, well, the pig's useless. I just go get him. I know where they are. Well, I don't need the pig.
Because I look at the trees. You can tell where the truffles are.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I don't need the pig.
That was great.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I could do without that line, but it doesn't bother me.
Well, no, it's explaining to you that it's not about what the pig can do. It's what the pig represents.
And that's exactly what happens in John Wick.
Yeah.
Only John Wick shows up with a shotgun.
And he stabs you with a pencil.
It's not about the fucking dog at all.
No.
It's about the wife who gave him the dog. Like, that's really what John Wick's about.
It's about John Wick is a homicidal maniac.
And again, both movies are about grief. They're just told in completely different ways.
And then they made a franchise out of John Wick, and I don't think Pig is going to get 3 more movies.
No, but I will say, it doesn't need 3 more movies. No. But I will say, I love both movies.
100%.
I prefer this way.
Yeah.
But I also really, really love John Wick and all the movies. Yeah. It's just a completely different way of telling it.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that this went that fine line, and John Wick just went off to this angle. And went to the action route, and this movie never went that way. It never went the super sappy route, but just stuck in the middle. Like, there's different ways you can handle the storyline, because in the end, what the movie starts off about, it's not about.
Yeah.
It's what you realize throughout the movie, and what the characters realize throughout the movie is most important to them.
It's one of them subtextual things.
Yeah, because the dad realizes, maybe I should let my fucking wife go. Like, holy shit, they never even get to the part about him talking to his son.
Yeah.
Which would be great, but we can assume that happens next. Like, you can assume a conversation with Alex Wolff and Adam Arkin are happening next. We just don't see it. But it's just he admits that the pig's dead. He goes outside and he's like, see you next Thursday. He's like, yep. Drops him off at his cabin.
I'm gonna walk.
He goes in, slowly walks into the place, takes his shoes off really slow. And it's just setting up the fact that it's just back to normal. Only the pig's not there, but you realize the grief and the feelings are still the same. So therefore, he's right back to where he was before. But he's also willing to deal with it because he's listening to the tape. And you hear the ending. He puts on the cassette. She's singing a song to him. And this is the last thing you see. He looks. Well, I cut it short because he looks at the ceiling for 4.5 minutes before the credits start.
I will say, out of all the trivia pages I've ever looked at, I'm most intrigued by this one.
Oh, can you screen share?
Yeah.
Should you screen share? That's up to you. But
I can screen share.
Okay.
All right. So, in after film Q&A, director Michael Sarnowski revealed the pig only had 3 days of training and bit Nicolas Cage multiple times.
Yeah.
After a particularly nasty bite, Cage joked, "I've been set on fire, I've been flipped in cars, but it'll be sepsis from a pig bite that kills me."
Yeah.
Budget was very small, so they couldn't hire a trained pig.
Yeah, I saw
Nicolas Cage is Alex Wolff's favorite actor. They only had 20 days to make the movie. They didn't do any reshoots, so they didn't have any budget for reshoots. So all these are one take.
For the most
crazy
part,
shit.
I can assume that some of the like Adam Arkin scenes where it really gets to the crux of the storyline, they probably had more than one take.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's there's not a whole lot of scenes.
Okay, so there's
25 scenes probably, right?
Yeah,
roughly, yeah.
Well, and the original cut was over 2 hours, and this is the reason why we have 3 parts. To make the movie shorter, editor agreed to dividing it into 3 story parts. So I guess that gives weight to why we have those 3 parts. However, I don't think it matters. I think they could have just done without them, and we wouldn't have noticed.
Well, my first writing class, I did I did a story and I broke it up into sections. And the only notes I got back from the teacher were why. And I was like, good point.
Yep.
Good point. Why did I break it up in the parts? Like, there's no reason to do that.
I think it adds some dramatic value in some movies. I know Tarantino does it from time to time, but like,
yeah, but
if the only reason you're doing it is for dramatic, effect, like, we don't need it. It doesn't add any value to the story.
But if Tarantino cut that out of there, like a Hateful Eight, if he cut that out of there,
yeah,
I wouldn't notice. The length isn't the problem. If the story works, the story works. Like, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
At first, you're like, fuck you, but then I'm like,
it'd be one thing if each of those parts has like a message, right? Each one of those parts has like some one line message on the screen that's telling you something about what's happened. But if it's just like some random title, who cares?
It works in Kill Bill. It didn't need to be there in like Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
That's it, because Kill Bill is very different from scene to scene, like from section to section. Yeah. Hateful Eight, the same fucking thing. I don't need chapters.
Yeah,
but okay. So I guess the last thing we should discuss here, because we're at 53 minutes, we're almost done. Cage. Our biggest conversation, our biggest topic piece is how is Cage in this movie? I know we touched on him in here and there, but honestly, like, as far as the Cage movies you've seen, how is he in this movie compared to his other movies? Like,
top 10 Cage.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, enough said. Like, top tier.
That could be top 5 Cage. I mean, seriously.
Probably.
Well, I know I have my ratings, but I'm curious what you guys think are like better than this. Because this is really fucking good.
I mean, the issue is I haven't seen all of the Cage movies.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to actually put it in a ranking, but I mean, this is probably the best Cage movie I've ever seen.
Okay. I mean, Dick, you've probably seen more than Jansen.
Oh, yeah.
But
no, this is why people forget, people need to be reminded that Nick Cage can do this occasionally.
And that's part of what I struggle with people like, why do you like Cage? I'm like, because he's also really fucking good.
Yeah. He's not like Bruce Willis.
He does a movie every 12 years where he
Bruce
tries.
Willis sucks, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you write a movie for Cage, he's going to be great in it. If he shows up in your Bulgarian movie to get out of tax stuff, he's going to be Nick. He's just going to show up and fuck around like the jiu-jitsu movie.
Where's my suitcase full of cash? Okay, I'm going to do the acting of this movie now.
At this point, the only Cage movie I haven't seen on his record is Prisoners of the Ghostland, because you cannot find it because it's caught between distributors right now. So that's
What
the
the
only
hell is
reason I haven't
that?
seen it.
Is that an old movie or?
It came out in January of this year, but it's
Oh,
not
okay.
available.
Yeah.
Like, here's where I am as far as my Cage rankings on my show. That between all of his movies, I'm putting it number 4 on both lists.
Wow.
Because I really fucking love those top 3.
Yeah.
But this is fucking great. I could even consider going to number 3 on this. I might. He's great. But yeah, it's up there. And I noticed the similarity with the top 4 because the quality of the Cage and the quality of the movie are equal in the top 4, and after that it falls apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, this could go to number 3 the more I watch this movie.
Wow,
This is tentative, definitely.
I love it.
He's really fucking good in this movie. And I definitely recommend it. I wholeheartedly do. And it's weird to be so serious about this movie. I want to make fun of it.
It's a great movie.
But I just can't. Like, what are we supposed to say that's going to make fun of it? It's a great movie.
I mean, the only thing that you can make fun of is just the underlying premise of the pig, right? It's a dumb premise, but it works so perfectly well, and it does. And it at the end of the movie, you realize it does not fucking matter. It's not what the movie's about. But going into the movie, if that was your only knowledge of the movie, I think that may turn you off to it, which is bad for the movie.
I'm trying to picture someone who would watch this movie going, "It's about a pig. This is gonna be fucking awesome."
Right?
It's about feelings. Fuck you. Like, that's a person I don't want to do a show to. So
I don't fuck my pig.
So if you made it this far, you're gonna love the movie, and if
That's
you haven't, then you don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about you. So yeah, watch the movie.
It's a surprising, like amazing. It makes you think that okay, movies can be good
Yeah, it's
in this world of shit that we have to watch now.
and as great as Cage in this movie, I just want to congratulate the director, Michael
Wow.
Sarnowski, more than anyone because I keep doing the line, the perfect line that he walked because it really is a tightrope walk with this kind of movie. And fucking kudos, man. Just honestly,
It's
kudos.
good. It's solid.
I still have yet to check out Red Letter Media. They talked about this movie.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna probably watch it after this right now.
I am too, but I put it off until we talked about it.
Yeah.
I don't want there to influence, and we do.
Yeah.
Which they don't. But I don't want their, I don't want to.
Their dirty handprints on it.
Hopefully, I assume they liked it as much as we did because why else would they talk about it? But
Yeah.
I don't know. But definitely check out the movie and. I'm not used to being positive, Jansen. What do I do?
I won't say thank you.
Probably have to kill yourself now.
Oh, let me talk about next. Oh, wait, no, that's a movie I also love. Fuck. Our next Nick Cage movie is going to be Adaptation from 2002.
Fuck fish.
And we're
Which is literally
doing
my favorite Nick Cage movie. So, fuck.
we're doing Lord of War after that.
After that is Lord of War, your pick.
I love Lord of War.
After that is going to be Honeymoon in Vegas versus Leaving Las Vegas.
Wow.
Versus.
I gotta watch 2 movies.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, because got a baby coming, a lot of them are gonna be verses coming up.
Yeah.
So get 2 out of the way.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's all right.
I need to get through these. I have 50. Other than this, we have 47 episodes.
Wow.
Dang.
Hey, I minimized my bingo hoppers though. We only got 1 left, and it's Nick Cage.
Burn it.
I got rid of all of them.
Yeah, good. Send it back to hell.
Oh man. All right. So, all right. What else can we say about this? Are we done? Right.
We're done.
We
said what we said. We talked it to death.
What are you gonna? What do you, the scale 1 through 10? What's your rating?
So far I gave it an 8.
No.
I might go up to 9. I've seen it twice now because I did watch it with you. I just didn't tell you. I was watching it.
I watched the movie with you secretly.
Well, I came in as I was sending it to him, and I'm like 20 minutes went by. I'm like, okay, yeah. And
I watched this
for a few minutes to come back and be like, but I watched basically the movie again, and I was still enthralled. So I might go up to 9 again. It is definitely my favorite movie of 2021 so far.
Absolutely.
By far.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Well, I mean, there's not much to compare it to, but
out of 10?
it's a solid movie. It's a great. I was pleasantly surprised. I almost gave it a 9. I was blown away by it. I was completely surprised, and I really liked it a lot.
Out of 10?
I'm glad I saw it. I would say 8.5, almost a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I really liked it.
9. I just want to watch it again. But
yeah,
Jensen, out of 10, what do you give it?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a 9 when I was watching it, but after I sat with it, it was a 9. And talking through it makes it a 9, right? I think any movie that makes you think this hard after you've watched it, or that you're going to think about for several days and have epiphanies for, warrants that type of rating. Absolutely.
I will say this, Nat Wolff, you're really fucking good.
Yeah, he's very good.
He caught me. I thought I was gonna hate that character, and I watched it. I'm like, this fucking kid is so because I knew him from Hereditary. Once I recognized him in this movie, I go, fuck. And then Nick Cage has the window down in the car. I'm like, don't stick your head out. Do not stick your head out.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But yeah, that kid is great. And his brother, who I didn't really love on the stand as Lloyd, I still appreciated him as an actor. So
yeah,
those 2 guys are doing great work. Keep it up. Just a great movie all around. I'm gonna give it a 9. Fuck it. I'm giving it a 9.
It's good. It's
doing it.
It's very good. I loved it.
I never thought I would give another Cage movie a 9. I really thought Adaptation was the last one. Because even The Trust, which I love, and Raising Arizona, I gave an 8 to.
Yeah.
This, oh man, fuck. This throws on my whole list. I got to figure everything out. I got to reassess my life, just like all the characters in this movie.
You want to open up that pub now?
Oh fuck! Derek the chef made me think, made me feel. All right, guys. LIWstudios.com for me. Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube. Dick.
Nothing. The PSA says it all.
Sorry, I was muted. I thought we have a PSA. What's going on, dude?
I don't know. I'm trying to. I'm not used to being positive. I'm thrown off.
Get it together.
No, you guys are right. Okay. Our government of Wonderland has a PSA for us to throw at the end here. Oh shit, it's taking over.
Citizens
Dial
of
up now
Wonderland,
connected.
rejoice in the fact that we have covered another movie on the show. Go to liwstudios.com for more videos and podcasts. Subscribe to Loitering in Wonderland on YouTube. Search on Amazon for books by Richard Pierce. Until next time, and in the meantime, we are Phoenix West, Dick Dickett and Jansen Carlin. So long, citizens. All hail our glorious leader. Shut off the fucking show now.
It's your barbecue and it tastes good.